Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Ace Attorney Investigations. Case number 3, Part 2. Just give me 1 second. See what we look like on stream. We're looking good. Yeah. Good enough. Alright then. Perfect. Without further ado, let's continue the investigation. March 13th, 1:22 p.m., Gatewater Land Main Gate. Still hot. Chased on like a pair of peasants. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Kay? There's something even thieves should never steal. Do you know what that is? You really shouldn't steal anything, however, I'll bite. What shouldn't a thief steal? A life. It's too heavy of a burden on your soul to get away with. Ever. That's something we can agree on. Well said, Kay. No matter what we may try, murder is the one crime that can never truly be hidden. And I intend to prove that by my own hands. When I apprehend the murderer myself. Alright, and I'm going to work extra hard to be a good assistant. Let's go. Still never said she could be my assistant. Sigh, I'm just going to drop the issue. First thing we should do is locate the real scene of the murder. Mr. Edgeworth! Detective Gumshoe? Mr. Edgeworth, the stadium. Hurry, sir. This is supposed to be hush-hush, but they find a witness at the stadium. A witness? You, what do we tell you about leaving you a signed post? The check is up. Mr. Edgeworth, remember that I'm always waiting for you, so go get him, sir. The detectives sure look like they're enjoying themselves. It's not all fun and games, Kay. Now then, let's head to the stadium and meet this witness. Huh. What are the odds that this witness is actually the murderer? Or one of the kidnappers, at least. March 13th, 1:42 p.m. Stadium. Oh, so that conversation lasted 20 minutes? I guess the journey as well. Okay, fine. Fair enough. I thought there was a witness here. Yeah, I don't see anyone. Mr. Edgeworth... Gumshoe? Oh. Long time no see. You are Miss Emma Skye, correct? This girl is the younger sister of my former superior, Lana Skye. 2 years ago, we stood in the same courtroom together as witness and prosecutor. But I thought she had gone to Europe to study forensics. Can't believe you remember me, Mr. Edgeworth. Of course I do. How have you been? You look to be in good spirits. Are you still studying abroad? You bet. More than anything, I want to investigate crime scenes, scientifically. I've been studying non-stop every day to become a top-notch forensic scientist. But it's spring break now, so I thought I'd come back for a bit. I see. Well, cool. Are you, by any chance, the witness? I almost didn't recognize you. You've really grown in these past few years. Please don't tease me, Mr. Edgeworth. I know I still have a long way to go. But I'm going to be a super forensic scientist someday. You'll see. You seem to know Miss Edgeworth really well. Are you two acquaintances? Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Emma Skye. Nice to meet you. I'm studying abroad now to be a forensic scientist. How about you? Wow, that's a great dream. My name's Kay Faraday, and I'm training to become an unstoppable great thief. A great thief? Don't think too hard on it, Emma. It's not worth the trouble. In any case, we have much to catch up on. You bet we do. So, why are you here, Emma?
Well, I just happened to decide to come back home for spring break. And then I heard that you'd come back too, so I raced on over here. I'd really wanted to welcome you back at the airport, but I had just missed you.
And how exactly did you know I was here?
Through the power of science, naturally. Never underestimate what science can do for you. I used these to track your footprints and I followed them straight to you. This set is the greatest. It's so wonderfully scientific. You spray this chemical on the ground, and when you shine the special light on it, zing! The footprints light up like an electrified noble gas in a glass tube. It's almost like magic, scientifically speaking.
Forensic science has never seemed more ominous to me than at this very moment. Emma, I'd like to ask you about what you witnessed.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Are you not the witness Detective Gumshoe told us about?
Well, I did get a call from Detective Gumshoe earlier. He was practically yelling at me. Mr. Edgeworth needs your scientific doohickeys right now, pal, he said.
What was that man thinking? Or rather, not thinking?
So let me guess. There's been a murder, right?
Yes, unfortunately. There is a sudden glint in her eyes. But I need to keep my mind focused on the witness. Now, where did that person go?
Scientifically calculating and thinking critically about this, and putting it in a way that transmits the feeling that I understand. Whew! Done.
She makes it sound like she knows what she's talking about, but she really has no idea. Admittedly, I am slightly confused by what she just rattled off. Okie dokie.
Scientifically calculating, and done. This is the symbol of a prosecutor, right? I don't think I've ever seen you wear it, though.
Well, I'm not as enthusiastic about wearing it as you are with your pin badges.
I know, right? I mean, I really wanted to put even more on today, actually. Oh, hey, I like yours, Kay. Do you have any extras?
Sorry, but there's only one of these in the world, and it's proof that I am a great thief. Okay, then.
Where are you going, Mr. Edgeworth?
We have to find the witness before that mean old werewolf does. You're right. The witness is supposed to be here in the stadium, but where? Oh. Okay. Alright, I'm sorry. Trying to find out where I can and can't go. I assume this is another Badger mobile? Yeah, but it's a different color than the blue Badger's car. Yes, this is the retinous searing pink model. What's that off in the distance? Oh. Hey, it's the pink Badger.
Badger, get!
Badger, 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 Badger. Just what does she... Oh my god. Just what does she see in these silly things? Seashells by the seashore. I think this badger has something to say to you, Miss Edgeworth. Are you, by chance, the witness I've been searching for? Sorry, but I don't speak badger dance. Oh, that's it? I can't take Meekins on the stuff yet anymore! No! Why here? Why here? Why now? First met this woman 3 years ago. She was a witness in one of my cases. Of course. Should have seen this one coming. She has since gone out of her way to pop up unexpectedly and cause me great grief.
Itchy poo! Why couldn't you understand what I was trying to tell you? I mean, really? I'm trying so hard to keep this kid's dream alive by staying in character.
But you could pick up on what I was trying to convey to you. I'm sick and tired of that roundabout way of talking, so I'm just gonna be direct. I had a bad feeling before. This just made it official. Today has gone beyond the typical not my day into the realm of waking nightmare. So, you're a friend of Mr. Edgeworth too, Miss Pink Badger.
could say that, but right now I'm just a pink badger, dearie.
She may look the part, but I know better than to trust my eyes around this woman.
My name is Wendy Oldbag, but you could call me Wendy, or Granny, or whatever suits your fancy.
Nice to meet you, Miss Oldbag. I'm Kay Faraday.
What do I care about a young whippersnapper like you?
Yes, I was just trying to be polite. Weren't you a security guard at one of the Gatewater hotels the last time we met?
I get where I'm needed. I'm very good at what I do, unlike the youth of today. I get called in all the time to fill in when there aren't enough hands.
But enough about me, Edgy Poo. I'm thoroughly dejected right now.
Finally get the chance to see you again, and here you are talking with two young girls.
Men are all the same. Doesn't matter how old you are, if this course we have those other days we have to working on the race match to 18-year-old. I see we're seeing all this.
Seem to attract all sorts of interesting people, Miss Edgeworth. Kay, please, I'm begging you, by all means, do not provoke her any further. Aren't you forgetting about something, Miss Edgeworth? This person could be the witness. Honestly, I hope she isn't, but I don't think fate is going to be so kind today.
I saw what happened. I even saw the exact moment it happened. How's that?
So it's true, she is the witness. I don't suppose I can afford to ignore the old bag.
Yes, it was just a little while ago. I saw it happen right in front of me.
Moment of the murder! You mean to say that you witnessed someone being killed right before your eyes? Sounds like a pretty important piece of testimony to me. Why do I not believe you, Oldbag? Is it because every time you are asked to give a testimony, you end up lying? First with the Steel Samurai, and then, well, with the Steel Samurai again, and now this. I'm just not buying it.
I came to the stadium to take a short break. As I was resting, I happened to glance over and I saw two men facing each other in that area. Suddenly, there was a loud gunshot, and the person who was shot fell to the ground.
It was a very terrifying experience, let me tell you.
Looks like we hit the jackpot, huh, Miss Edgeworth? Yes, I can't afford to ignore what she has to say. Unfortunately.
What's that unfortunately attacked on at the end supposed to mean, Edgy Poo?
Well, anyway, let's see what we can find out from this little old lady. I don't know about little.
I came to the stadium to take a short break.
Hold it!
You mean you took a break from being the Pink Badger?
You may not think it, but it's hard work keeping kids' dreams alive. You smell of sweat, your hip creaks with pain, you even begin to dream about work.
That's the kind of sword that would scar a child for life, you know.
That's why I chose to come take my break here, whippersnapper. I don't plan on playing the part of Dead Badger in front of a bunch of kids.
So what did you see while you, the Pink Badger, were resting?
Oh, yes, that. Well, as I was resting, I happened to glance over and saw two men facing each other in that area.
Hold it!
You saw two men. Can you describe them for me?
They looked like your average Joes, completely uninteresting and not worth fawning over. I'm telling you, they were so boring that I don't even remember much beyond that.
But did they have any special features? Anything you can recall would be very helpful.
Oh my, don't tell me you're jealous of this Tim Pan.
Hey, she's right. You do seem pretty worked up over them, Miss Edgeworth.
I'm not worked up over anyone. I'm not jealous.
It's alright, Edgy Poo. Those two were just fools. Foals compared to a stallion like you. I thought so little of them that I lost interest the instant I laid eyes on them. Suddenly, there was a loud gunshot, and the person who was shot fell to the ground.
Hold it!
You're claiming to have seen the exact moment in which the murder took place?
Absolutely. That gun made a terrible racket when it was fired.
Did you try to go help the person that got shot?
I'm only one person, you smart aleck, you brat. What could have I done? I took off as soon as I could to find someone who could help.
Two men, one bullet. It's all consistent with what we found out from the body. Sadly, there wasn't exactly a lot of new information to go on in your testimony.
Well, if I saw the guy again, I'm sure I could identify him for you.
I mean, how do you expect me to remember anything without something to jot the memory?
Self-centered, aren't we? While it was somewhat useful, her testimony also presents us with a new problem.
Miss Edgeworth.
Yes?
So, about this new problem.
What is that giant grin on your face for?
Do you want me to show you something really nice?
No, thank you.
Don't be so mean. I swear it's something you're going to like.
What is that gadget you're holding?
What you see before you is the secret weapon of a great thief.
Ah, I should have known it would be worthless.
Oh, don't be like that. Tee-hee. Ahem. What do you think now?
What is it doing? It's projecting something into the air.
I'm going to input the necessary information to run the simulation now. Once I'm done, I'll increase the size of the projection to its maximum size. Dark skies of evening, where no other bird dares take wing, one alone remains all-seeing. Now, witness the true power of a real modern-day Robin Hood.
Ooh. What is this?
This is a recreation of the murder based on the info I inputted into Little Thief.
Little Thief? I dare say I think you're taking the Robin Hood thing a bit too far.
Little Thief is actually meant to be a simulator for me to plan my thefts. But I suppose if I used it like this... Let's see. Miss O'Beck said that the two men were facing each other, and then a gunshot rang out and the victim fell to the ground.
Ah, so with this we can inspect the crime scene as it was in the past.
See? So, what do you think?
I have to say, I'm impressed by the technology thieves have access to these days.
And it is a super secret weapon of the mighty Yatagarasu.
Indeed.
Oh, but if there isn't enough information or if something is out of place, the recreation could come out a little strange.
In other words, I can use this to authenticate the validity of a witness's testimony?
You got it. You really catch on quick, Mr. Edgeworth.
Right now, this simulation is a recreation of that witness's testimony. So for now, I should re-examine everything. And if I find anything illogical or strange, I can then ask for clarification.
Feel free to examine anything in this simulation in the way you always do. You can even present evidence when you find a contradiction. And if you find something, I've got Little Thief with me, so you just let me know, okay?
So... Okay. It's a silhouette of the killer with his gun at the ready. Okay, is it not possible to recreate the face of the killer?
Well, I can't exactly input what we don't know into Little Thief.
She has a point. According to the testimony, the victim fell to the ground here.
That's right, but
if that's the case, then we've already found our first contradiction.
Huh? What? Where?
If this is the real scene of the crime, there is something missing that should be here. Which piece of evidence shows the missing item?
The missing item? I guess the pendant?
Take that!
Maybe you're still adjusting to the simulation?
Yes, that's it. Allow me to find my bearings, and I'll present the contradiction again. Maybe I need to review the evidence again. It should go without saying that the truth lies in what is missing from this scene. Which piece of evidence shows the missing item?
Take that!
This is the contradiction.
Hey, is something wrong with my recreation?
If this is the real scene of the crime, something specific should be here. If you think back, how did we deduce that the other crime scene was not the real one?
Oh, I get what's missing.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. That's my fault. I should have known that. I wasn't paying attention. Okay. There's no blood on the ground here either, right?
Right. The fact that there's no blood here casts doubt on the witness's testimony.
Etchy poo! How can you doubt me like that? You call me a liar! I know what I saw. I saw the victim get shot down!
You know, I don't think she's lying, Miss Edgeworth. To be honest, I can't think of a reason why she would lie to me. In that case, maybe there is another explanation for the distinct lack of blood.
Was there something on the ground, maybe?
Looks like they broke the stage down.
I guess this means they're done for the day.
Or maybe it's because a different show is scheduled to start its run tomorrow. Okay, so now we do this. Ooh. That is actually a shining example of the perfect line of logic. Okay.
What is this? Some sort of new attraction? Go on, Edgy Poo, show me anything and I'll tell you all about it.
Very well. What do you think about this?
It's nothing special.
Somehow I figured she'd say it much.
Yes?
So, you believe that this gadget will provide us with the proof we need?
Yeah, of course. Pretty neat, huh? By putting info like this, it can recreate the crime scene exactly as it was.
Although Little Thief was originally intended to be a training sim for heist, a training sim for thievery, I don't believe I can turn a deaf ear to that, Kay.
Ah, it's for practice. Practice. It's not like I've actually stolen anything yet. Besides, we're in the middle of an investigation, so stop nitpicking.
Even if it is just practice, it doesn't exactly endorse the act of stealing. Although, admittedly, this device is rather useful in an investigation. So, how am I supposed to use this to aid my investigation?
Oh, that's right. I guess I should explain how to use it, huh? Objects outlined in yellow are things that are not present in our time, but were in the past. Things outlined in a dotted line are things that exist now but didn't in the past.
I see.
You can examine and interact with replicated people and objects as you normally do. You can even present evidence whenever you find an inconsistency. Oh, and be sure to point out mistakes in the recreation with evidence, too.
Very well. Let's continue with the investigation.
If there's something you don't get about Little Thief, feel free to ask any time, okay?
Now I'm fairly convinced that the victim was killed here, but then why is there no blood? There must be some explanation for this contradiction. Perhaps I should go over all the information I've gathered one more time.
Even if he was wearing a costume, it's not like he's wearing, like, fucking all sham no wow super absorbent sponge costume. It's not gonna absorb all of the blood away. It's still gonna leak out. I don't get it. Okay. Is it not possible that the victim was wearing a costume? So you really think that Mr. Deacon was one of the kidnappers?
I think we can reasonably assume that there is a very good chance that he was. And that if he was shot while he was inside one of those stolen costumes,
Mr. Deacon's blood would be inside the costume instead of on the ground. What? Okay, sure.
Precisely. Now, if we only could prove that the victim was wearing a costume.
You'd think it'd be pretty easy if we could find some footprints. But the problem is finding them, since there doesn't seem to be any around.
Footprints, eh? Wonder how we can go about finding some of those.
This is amazing! Just feel the power of science!
Emma, about that method you were talking about for finding footprints.
Finally my expert knowledge in forensics is needed.
Yes, well, can you detect and trace even partial footprints?
Leave it to me. My cutting-edge detection kit can find anything.
Very well, if you could please analyze the footprints in this area.
Okay, stand back now and witness the power of science at work. Hey, I found something. Look, right there.
I don't see anything.
Oh, that's right. Here, put these special glasses on, Mr. Edgeworth.
These footprints here were definitely left by a badger costume.
Judging by the way the prints are layered, those seem to be the notes.
Then we can conclude that the victim was definitely wearing a costume at the time. Okay, in that case, I'll update the thief simulation parameters. I can't wait to see what we find out from this new info. So the victim was wearing a costume when he died. And with that, we should be one step closer to the truth, right? I see the equation has changed in accordance with the new information. We may be closer, but now, something else has caught my attention.
What do you want?
Your testimony, naturally. I'd like to hear it one more time, if you please.
I came to the stadium to take a short break. As I was resting, I happened to glance over and I saw two men facing each other in that area. Suddenly, there was a loud gunshot and the person who was shot fell to the ground.
It was a very terrifying experience, let me tell you.
So, does this mean that Miss Elbeck's testimony has a contradiction in it? Yes, and I believe our best course of action is to compare it with your recreation. See, I just knew Little Thief would be of help. Now let's see if we can pull more info from Miss Elbeck to put into the recreation. For that, we must first find the contradiction in her testimony. Alright, do we need to press on everything again, or is it going to be the same result? You mean you took a break from being the Pink Badger?
You may not think about it, it's hardworking.
Okay. Same stuff.
Objection!
There we go. Two men? How did you know the gender of the two people involved? Seeing as how the victim was wearing a costume at the time. Furthermore, I have another matter I'd like to inquire about. I'd very much like to know why you failed to mention the costume in your testimony. I'm beginning to doubt if you really witnessed the murder at all.
But I tell you, I really did see it. I saw it with my very own eyes.
From a seat in the second tier.
The second tier? Hey, didn't you say you saw it right in front of you earlier?
That was, you know, I was using the phrase in the metaphorical sense.
See, that witness still has a screw loose in the metaphorical sense.
The cushy seats in the second tier are reserved for hotshot VIPs, which is exactly why I go there now and again, take a nap.
Can't see how you could have gotten a good look from there. It's so high up. Were you able to see even the victim's costume from way up there?
Well, I know I saw two people, but I couldn't really see what they looked like because they were in the stage's shadow. My eyesight isn't what it used to be, you know?
Not like when I was young. People go to good bad representation. Me flashlight made the move for them easy.
Let us return to our investigation, shall we, Kay? You got it. Alright. Are we still gonna be here, or are we gonna try to go up to the second tier? So we can see what she saw? They were obstructed by a shadow. Does that mean that the stage wasn't packed up during the murder? This new silhouette of the victim is in a costume. Silhouettes can change depending on the information I input. The little thief can recreate more than just people, so investigate away. We may even find more info with which to make a more accurate sim. Alright, sounds like a plan. The silhouette of the killer with his gun at the ready. Killer. Okay. So what are we supposed to do now?
This is amazing. Just feel the power of science.
Thanks to you, I'm able to proceed with my investigation once again. Thank you.
It was nothing. Glad that science and I could be of service.
Pretty amazing how we could see the footprints. So, what's the secret behind that thing?
Oh, you want to know? Here, you can read the manual.
Aha, very interesting. So if I do this, I can avoid leaving footprints. She can't seriously be trying to use the information to her advantage as a thief. Wait. That's exactly what she's doing. Okay. That woman's testimony needs to be believed. The murder occurred before the stage was broken down. You want me to input that bit of info into Little Thief? Yes, if you please.
Okay.
That can't be right. Battle of the Magicians, Max Galactica versus Troop Gramarye. And tomorrow there will be a concert by the hip new rock band The Governors. Not that either of these stage shows interest me in the least. This new silhouette of the victim is in a costume. Silhouettes can change depending on the information I input. The Little Thief can recreate more than just people. So investigate away. We may be able to find more info with which to make a more accurate sim. Alright, sounds like a plan. There's clearly
a contradiction here.
Please stop seeing my lines.
Come on, it wasn't that hard to see it coming, even for a layman like me.
I suppose. In any case, it's not possible for the killer to have stood here in that way. Because there was a very real stage set up in this spot at that time.
Yeesh, I told you I got it. Do you feel the need to explain everything?
Yes, well, in any case, we still need to resolve this unusual situation.
Isn't it obvious? The killer was on top of the stage, naturally.
Right, Miss Elbert?
Yes, I remember now. The killer is standing on top of the stage.
See, now let me update the info on the simulation. In the simulation. Now the bullet is gonna be like that.
That's not gonna make any sense.
That doesn't fit with the bullet. Clearly he would be shooting from below. Like that. Oh! Well, what have we here? A bunch of hooligans running amok, I see. Agent Lang, how nice of you to join us.
Well, I can't have you going around messing up my crime scenes.
Agent Lang, we've discovered that the real scene of the murder is here, the stadium.
I see. Thanks.
For what?
I'm just trying to show you my appreciation for all the time you saved me.
Who knew that such a strange little toy could recreate a crime scene like that? Little Thief is not a toy.
You too.
So. Oh. Okay.
And there you have it. You see? Big boys like me don't need silly toys, little girl. Now this is a recreation.
So what? Do you still intend to assert that Officer Meekins is the killer?
Of course. Even knowing that the crime took place here doesn't let him off the hook.
Alright. Time to defend Meekins again.
This is the real scene of the crime. Officer Meekins lay in wait for the victim on top of the stage. When the victim finally showed, he shot him from on high. That's the truth your little recreation showed.
How far will you go to accuse Officer Meekins of the crime?
He's the most likely suspect we've got, especially given the situation with this gun.
Well, even if he is the killer, at least my recreation was on the mark.
You see? Thank you for understanding, my little crow girl.
Not some common crow, I'm the Yatagarasu, the Raven of Legend. Unfortunately, your conclusion has yet to be tested, so let's see how well it holds up. This is the real scene of the crime.
Hold it!
Looks like we found the real crime scene first.
Ha! Brag all you want, but we don't have all that free time, unlike the two of you.
You know what you remind me of? A dog licking his wounds as he whimpers home.
Well, I guess I should be thankful for all the time you saved me. Shishi. That's how we say thanks in my country.
You're welcome. I hope he realizes we didn't do all of this for him.
But I'm here now, so I'll be taking over. As I was saying, this is where the crime took place. Officer Meekins lay in wait for the victim on top of the stage.
Hold it!
Lying in wait? How did Officer Meekins even know the victim was going to come here?
Simple. He was investigating the kidnappers, right? And while he was doing so, he came to understand the victim, Mr. Deacon's movement.
Objection!
Huh, and why would the good officer want to ambush and kill a kidnapper?
Not so fast!
You mean his motive? Who knows, and who cares? You can find that out for yourself when you talk to him in jail.
You have no respect for the order of law.
Don't get me wrong, but I need more than there is no motive to convince me otherwise.
He's right. Lack of a motive is a rather weak argument by itself.
So, the officer lay in wait on top of the stage, and when the victim finally showed, he shot him from on high.
Hold it!
So we agree with how our recreation turned out?
Like I said, I'm grateful they were able to save me some time.
Alright, but we still don't know why he chose to wait on top of the stage.
Who cares? Maybe he wanted to become the Blue Badger. Who's to say he didn't see the stage and decided to put on a Badger stage show of his own?
Maybe there's a completely different reason.
What does it matter? Still doesn't change the fact that Officer Meekins stood up on that stage and shot the victim on the ground below. That's the truth your little recreation showed.
Hold it!
So you honestly believe that what you're saying is what really occurred?
Hey, you're the ones who came up with this scenario. Are you saying you doubt yourselves?
Touché. Unfortunately, Agent Lang's conclusions do not contradict with our recreation.
Then does that mean it all went down just as he says?
No, not quite. I wonder if what we had recreated earlier was the whole truth.
Objection!
I'm terribly sorry, Agent Lang. I should have warned you that our recreation is incomplete. You cut in quite unexpectedly, after all.
What's that supposed to mean?
You said that the victim was shot by the killer from up above, correct? I had to break it to you, but that's not possible. Huh? Why not? Recall Mr. Deacon's body, specifically where the gunshot wounds were located?
Actually, I didn't get that good of a look.
Oh, well then. The bullet entered Mr. Deacon in his abdominal region and exited his right shoulder. This is more consistent with an angled shot from beneath the victim. Then, yes, our recreation had the victim being shot at an angle from above.
A clear contradiction. You're discounting your own conclusions?
No, this one point is the only flaw. This was the mistake parameter in our recreation. Yes, the locations of the killer and the victim were wrong.
I get it. I see what you're trying to say.
I believe the killer and the victim were standing opposite to what we initially thought. It was the victim who was on top of the stage as he was being shot by the killer. If this is what happened, it'll also explain the positioning of the gunshot wounds. But then, what about the footprints? Since footprints don't lie, we can assume then that the killer also wore a costume.
Okay, I'll try using that data instead. But even... I don't know, even that angle isn't sharp enough. It needs to be like that. Like almost from a prone position. Or a crouching position.
Judging by the fact that both the killer and the victim were wearing costumes, I'd say it was a killing between the two kidnappers. That would be the most natural conclusion. Wouldn't you agree, Agent Lang?
Well done, Mr. Prosecutor.
But that alone doesn't clear Officer Meekins of the crime. Yeah, because he was wearing a costume too. I asked that you take another good look at the tire marks over there. The 3 marks are indicative of the Blue Badger mobile. That story Officer Meekins sold about that shop on wheels getting stolen, just a lie. He drove the Blue Badger mobile here and committed the murder. Then he used the car to move the body to the garage in the Wild Wild West area. Oh, okay. Interesting. You believe he moved the body with the car? That's right. It was Officer Meekins himself who pointed us to the way he did it. The 3-tire tread marks are very telling. However, is the Blue Badger mobile the only thing capable of creating such a pattern? There were clearly more than one Badger mobile, and, like I said, 3 bikes next to each other. I asked that you take another good look at the tire marks over there.
Hold it!
The tire marks? Yes, the tire marks. The ones there behind the stage. They were hidden up until now by the various pieces of stage equipment. As for when they were made, they must have been made after the rain had begun to fall, correct? Yes, and probably around the same time as when the killer's footprints were made. Tires on that Blue Badger mobile probably got pretty muddy because of that. I say it's the Blue Badger mobile because, well, it's pretty obvious too. The 3 marks are indicative of the Blue Badger mobile.
Hold it!
3 tire marks. I have to agree that the Blue Badger mobile has 3 tires. Of course! The only thing in this park that can make those marks is that roving shop.
Objection!
Are you forgetting that there are in fact 3 of them? You can't simply ignore the pink and proto Badger mobiles, Agent Lang.
Not so fast!
Of course, I didn't say it couldn't be either of the other 2. But I see no reason to drag them into this just to complicate things. That story Officer Meekins sold about that shop on wheels getting stolen was just a lie.
Hold it!
Of course, you have some sort of proof that it was all a lie, correct? Of course not. Well, that was blunt. Suppose it is a lie. It would explain a lot of things. Like his movements and his whereabouts. He drove the Blue Badger mobile here and committed the murder.
Hold it!
So you still claim that the tire marks belong to the Blue Badger mobile? He must have arrived on the scene after the ground had become wet with rain. Officer Meekins committed the murder. Then, he used the car to move the body to the garage in the Wild Wild West area.
Hold it!
Besides the Blue Badger mobile, there are other ways the body could have been moved.
Not so fast!
Recall what the Wild Wild West area looked like? Only the Blue Badger mobile and Mr. Deacon's body were in the garage. I'd say that's proof. I suppose if one were to look at that place, that would be the only logical conclusion. However, my experience tells me that the truth is usually not so easily found. Is there some sort of problem with Agent Lang's statement with regard to that scene? So the only thing that car was selling was death, not dreams. Only if what Agent Lang believes turns out to be true. The 3-tire tread marks are very telling, however. Is the Blue Badger mobile the only thing capable of creating such a pattern? What other thing is there that has 3 wheels besides the other Badgermobiles?
Objection!
Okay. I have no idea why this is right. I'm gonna assume because if we examine the Badgermobile, there's not blood inside, or that. What is the contradiction here? Yeah, it's either there's no blood inside the car, there's not enough space to fit a corpse inside the car, or that the body was dropped off before Meekins arrived or something. I don't know. I don't know what the argument is going to be. Okay, let's see. Sorry, Agent Lang, but that's an impossible tale.
And why is that?
Those tire marks would not have been left by Officer Meekins' blue Badgermobile. One look at the car would have told you so. What proves the blue Badgermobile had never been to the stadium? Oh, no mud on the tracks.
Take that!
Wow, okay. I never would have noticed that. Take a good look at the tires. There's not a single dollop of mud to be found on it. This car had come to the backstage area and left those tire tracks. And the lack of mud on these tires stands out as very peculiar indeed.
And how do you explain the tire tracks, genius?
Hey, I've got it. What about Mr. Oldbag's pink Badgermobile?
Don't be ridiculous. I'll sleep in the entire time with second-tier seats.
Indeed, I believe we can rule her out as someone related to the crime. However, there is yet one more roving store, as I recall.
Oh, you mean the Proto-Badger?
That's right. There was one more parking space inside that garage. And it proves the existence of a Proto-Badgermobile. Agent Lang, I suggest you find this Proto-Badgermobile post-haste. There must still be some sort of incriminating evidence in it. Hey, did you hear something?
Help me.
Are you alright?
Well, this is something. Looks like we found our kidnapping victim. Where were you all this time?
Well, with kidnappers.
He was in the room next to the one I was held in.
Ran away underground. Got lost. The kidnappers.
What is it? I can't understand what you're trying to say.
Kidnappers escaped wearing costumes.
Did you see the face of your kidnappers?
No, I didn't see their faces, but two. One was a woman.
A woman?
What an important piece of testimony. Hey, what are you guys doing? Stop standing there and get your cops on this already. I'll even let you guys have what the kid just said now. Consider it a gift. Now, are you gonna get out of my crime scene, or am I gonna have to get rough?
Again?
You're nothing but a big bully. Come on, Mr. Edgeworth, let's go. Oh, no, not you. You're a very important witness for my case. I'm not about to let you get away that easily. Don't count on me to testify, because I won't. Not for you.
That's right. I won't either. You hear me, you young woman stopper?
Hey, calm down. There's no need for all this hostility. I just want to take a statement from each of you. I'm not gonna rough either of you up. I give you my word. Come on now, fair maidens. What do you say? Will you cooperate? Fair maidens? My, you little rascal. You sure know the way into a woman's heart. Langsy says, the passage of time is but a fleeting moment, and a lady is young forever. Trying to outdo my ancient poo with your fancy schmancy sayings. Let's get this over with. So we're clear, I'm only interested in giving you my statement. Sure, just as soon as Mr. Prosecutor leaves us be. Mr. Edgeworth.
To be continued. Whew. Alright then. Is that the middle part done with? Oh, no. We're still in the middle part. Okay. Middle part 1 complete. Well, I guess... Yeah. I guess that means we gotta keep going. Let's see. Anybody? Okay, no messages. Alright. Just checking. I still haven't figured out how to integrate the chat with the stream and also being able to see it as well on my screen. But doesn't matter now because there's barely any chat activity going on, so doesn't make any difference. Okay, let's lube up. Excuse me. All right. Here we go. March 13th, 2:34 p.m., Wild Wild West area. So we got the boot again. With Lance safe, the focus of the investigation will shift solely onto the murder. You mean the infighting between the kidnappers? Yes, and also the identity of the remaining kidnapper. Miles, my boy! Tell me it's true! Tell me that you've really found my boy! Yes, Mr. Romano, we found him earlier in the stadium.
Then my little Lance is unhurt.
He's not exactly the picture of perfect health, but his life is not in danger. He's being questioned right now by Agent Lang.
Poor Lance. It must have been so horrible for him. Locked up like a...
Sob. Yeah. Miles, my boy, I can't thank you enough. There's nothing. I'm still in shock over what happened to Oliver. But I have to say, I'm relieved that Lance is alright. Oh, that's right. I mustn't forget to pass this on to Lance as soon as the police are finished with him. A letter? Ah, the way Lance is being chased after by women reminds me of someone I know. I almost can't believe you received yet another love letter, you know? Yeah, take a look for yourself. Isn't this a breach of confidentiality? It's a very simple love letter. Oh, hey, let me see. That's really weird. It's from a loan company, Tender Lender. Looks more like a collection bill to me. Viola Cadaverini or whatever. Yeah, I think it's Cadaverini because, like, cadaver. Cadaverini. It's written in fucking spooky goth black ink. Dripping everywhere and shit. Oh, that looks to be something with quite a bit of value. But then all things have some value attached to them. Only by probing deep into the unknown can we become true winners in this world, Miles. Thanks, but knowledge isn't what's going to make me a winner here. It's information. Alright. Doesn't know anything. Let's see if, what's her name again? Let's see if Lauren... Does she know about this?
Lance and I met on a street corner by the crosswalk. I was so busy eating a loaf of bread that I ran into him. It was destiny, as people like to say.
I'll take that as she's not interested in this. Weird.
He loves me, he loves me not. He loves me, he loves me not. Oh, that's the 12th one. No, you can't give up, Lauren. Just one more try.
Excuse me, but I can't help but feel a bit sorry for all the flowers you've gone through.
I suppose. If they were me, then... blush.
I believe you said that you are Lance's girlfriend when we first met, correct?
Yes, I am, but oh, it's not like we both think of each other as lovers. But he did give me this ring, so I guess we're not just friends either. I mean, because this isn't just any ordinary ring. It tastes so sweet when you lick it. It's so wonderful.
You mean to tell me that he gave you a lollipop ring?
So which is it? You guys not decided if you are going out or is it just one-sided?
Decided? Shouldn't the parties involved naturally just know?
My father used to work for Mr. Romano. And so Lance and I grew up together. Gasp! I said it out loud.
I don't see how that's anything to be embarrassed about. So your father was an employee of the Amano Group. What did he do?
I heard his job was to fly around the world. On Pegasus.
Pegasus?
Oh, Pegasus was the name of the airplane. The airplane belonged to the company.
You had me there for a second.
But now it's all changed. My father, he isn't around anymore.
Oh, I see.
About 10 years ago, he rode in Pegasus off to somewhere and never returned.
Riding Pegasus to whereabouts unknown. Sounds like the stuff legends are made of.
It's been so long. I don't think I recognize him if we were to ever meet again.
I'm sorry, Lauren.
But I won't give in to the sadness. I have to live. Yes, Lauren, live.
About this incident.
Incident? But isn't the kidnapping already over and dealt with? I've been here the whole time, so I'm afraid I don't know much about any other incident.
How did you come to know that Lance had been kidnapped?
Oh, that's because of my woman's intuition.
You base everything on that?
I know everything when it comes to my Lance. It's really strange. It really must be destiny. Blush.
She's started fantasizing again. So what are you going to do now, Mr. Edworth? We already established that there's a good chance that the killer is the other kidnapper. It's my duty to figure out who this other person is. I believe there's one location that might hold a clue or two. The obvious location is the kidnapper's hideout. But we're still not allowed in, remember? Agent Lang and his men should be done with this area. In that case, there's no harm in asking that officer over there to let us in. So this must be the blue Badgermobile that Officer Meekins was driving.
He said it was stolen, didn't he?
Don't tell me that you were the one who stole it.
What the heck are you talking about? I don't even have a license. It's illegal to drive a car without a license. A great thief doesn't break the law.
This little girl has a very odd understanding of the word law.
Look, there's a blurb about the cactus here. This cactus is a very gracious gift to Great Waterland from the local police precinct.
Can't believe the police went so far as to even donate a cactus to this place.
So, is the police department running a cactus farm on the side? Huh, just kidding. They wouldn't do something so silly.
Actually, I have the vague impression I've seen a cactus farm in the precinct before. Where does this go? Oh! Oh! We can go to the entrance now. It's a set of tire tracks originating from the garage.
Aha, so that means the car left from the garage at some time, right?
Correct, but for the car to leave these tracks, it would mean that it left during the passing rain. That's the only explanation as to why these tracks are made of mud. 3 treads. You can also safely assume it's a special type of car.
You don't say. Why is there a blue badger here too?
Are you deathly allergic to him or something?
It's not that. It's more the half smile on his face. It's really unsettling.
She's disturbed by the half smile. I'm more disturbed by its movements and how it managed to obstruct an investigation. This man looks suspiciously like the precinct chief. Oh, look at that lovely smile on the blue badger's face.
Ah, it's looking at me. Make it stop. It's scary.
It's alright, dear. You want to know something? I was the one who created the blue badger. See? Look at his eyes. Don't they look just like Daddy's?
It's scary! It's scary because they do look like yours, Daddy!
Well, that was rather depressing. I think I better leave the two of them alone. You think they were but a hotel, now they have their own safari park attraction. Talk about a veritable goulash of rides and attractions.
So many of them, you'd think they would have a ninja house. Like one of those buildings with a zillion secret places to hide in? Those are fun.
Well, they don't.
Hey, how could you be so sure? Oh, I know. I bet they really do have one, but it's hidden in a real ninja fashion. Come on out. Come on out, Ninja House. I know you're around here somewhere.
A hidden ninja house. Next, she'll be looking for a lost pirate ship.
That lamb looks like it's got a lot of good stories to tell about the olden days.
Oh, looks incredibly new to me.
Mr. Edgeworth, you need to lighten up and get a sense of humor.
That was rather rude, but just this once, I'll look the other way.
On second thought, maybe the first thing you need to work on is tact.
Ooh! Who's that over there? They say the couples who cross this bridge together will find happiness. Also, the Gatewater Land pamphlet says.
Do you think that they would already be happy because they were able to come together?
Logistics aside, I wonder who came up with this tale and when. This bridge doesn't look old enough to be the stuff of a legend.
Well, some things are better left uninvestigated, don't you think? Ignorance is bliss.
Oh, really? I thought, okay. I'm not asking for like an interaction, but at least an acknowledgement. Come on, Edgeworth, they're right there. Just wave them. Wave to them, say hi. Oh, you. Alright, well, that's it, I guess. What do you have to report?
Sir, nothing unusual or out of the ordinary, sir.
Never had such redundancy before. Is it possible for you to let us take a look around inside?
Sir, Roger, sir.
That was surprisingly hassle-free. Are you certain? Didn't Agent Lang order you not to allow me in?
Sir, that's true, sir, but Detective Gumshoe asked me personally to let you in, sir. And I couldn't refuse a request from him.
Wow, looks like Detective Gumshoe has a following.
Furthermore, I was asked to give this document to you, sir.
What is this? The man in this picture? Isn't this Mr. Oliver Deacon? Oh. The plot thickens. Colin Deveray. Whereabouts unknown after his escape from Pen E. Dent prison. Stole a gun from a guard during his escape. We thought he might head for where his wife and sole daughter where his sole daughter are, but despite our surveillance, he has yet to show up. I see. Yes, I can see where this is going. The name here says Colin Deveray. That's the same name as the one on the back of the pendant. It appears that Colin Deveray was his real name. What's this? He was convicted in a case 10 years ago and sent to prison.
What? What was he doing here?
Apparently he broke out of jail and then just vanished. He must have become Oliver Deacon to cover up the fact that he was an escaped felon. No, I'm not sure what's going on anymore. Is there some sort of link between the victim's past and this current case? These police documents are rather detailed. I should take the time to give them a thorough read eventually. It's fine, let's focus on one thing at a time, starting with the kidnapper's hideout.
Yeah, I agree. We should investigate first, think later.
More than thinking things through, I think you should try remembering things first. Now then, if you could please unlock the door, officer.
It was locked up until a little while ago, but since then the door's been wide open, sir.
I'm not sure I follow what it is you're saying. Care to explain in a bit more detail?
Sir, the door was locked down tight when they went to check out the room. So they got about 10 officers to help out and break the door down, sir.
I see. I guess that means I get Agent Lang's leftovers. Well, let's see what we find. March 13th, 2:55 p.m., kidnapper's hideout. Alright. Oh. That's it? Okay. So, this is where the kidnappers planned their foul deed.
Wow, you were tied up for a while in the room next door. Hee.
Okay, please. Must you bring that up again? Now, down to business. There might still be some clues left in this room. Let's try to find out what we can of the other kidnapper's identity. Hold on. Hold on. Wait a minute. Okay. For a sudden moment there, I just at the back of my brain, I thought, wait, did I check that there's audio coming from my microphone or not? I was like, I hope I didn't just do the same mistake again. But luckily that's not the case. Alright. Let's start investigating. Watch out, Miss Edgeworth! It's a broken mirror. Probably came from the haunted house. Why is this here? Are they planning to repair it? Unused folding chairs lean against the wall in their folded state. Wow, whoever lined these up did it perfectly. There's... What? They are... Oh, they're not even a single hair off. I'd feel bad using these because it'd be like stealing the perfection away. I suppose it's more like you wouldn't want to be the one to put them away. I completely zoned out there. What? Not a single hair... Oh. Okay. Metaphorically speaking. Not an actual hair. Got it. Okay, sorry. A sign advertising the photo rally. Something I have absolutely no interest in. Yeah, but I do. I'm going to get my hands on the rest of the batch of family. You'll see. Definitely brings a decidedly different atmosphere to a criminal investigation. This door is thoroughly broken thanks to the police who forced it open. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Looks like a sword. A broken sword. Strange. Why would it be broken like that? Swords don't usually break on their own. That's true. Alright then, let's think about it in this way. Maybe it's broke when someone was trying to use it for or on something. Hypotheticals aren't going to get us anywhere. Perhaps we should think more on this later. That doorknob handle thingy is looking pretty beat up. I suppose that's what happens when 10 officers break their way in with brute force. Hey, that's odd. The lock on this is completely fine. Look, not a single dent. How is that possible after what that officer told us? Yeah, the lock had been in use when the door was busted down. Then the lock itself should be completely wrecked. So the lock on the door leading to the outside is undamaged. How can that be? Ah, the prop sword was used as a lock. It was used to jam the door shut. And that's what broke? Okay. Maybe. Ooh, they have barrels like these just outside. Yeah, son. Well, I know I already asked you when we were out there, but if these were real, what would you put in them? There's an expectant gleam in her eyes that I'm about to dash. The panel that hit the entrance to the underground is propped up and wide open. Be careful of where you step, Kay. I only found that other opening once, you know. Right, well, just saying, be careful. One can't be too careful. This must be where they dispose of old and worn-out costumes. That's so sad. It would seem that they throw the costumes away in pieces. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Folding chairs, and by the looks of it, they were probably used by the kidnappers. There are 3 chairs set around the table. A poster of Gatewater Land is stuck on the wall. Intrigue, fun, prestige. Gatewater Land has it all, and it's waiting for you. It's not especially catchy, is it? I wonder what this key is to. You got me. It reminds me of the key we found in the other room. That's it. This must be the key for one of those trapdoors. That wasn't a trapdoor. You only call it one because you quite literally jumped into it. Hey, but isn't that what you're supposed to do when you see one? I'm not having this conversation with you. Good day, sir. Cheap styrofoam cups. Looks like only 3 cups were used. Beyond this door,
It's where the kidnappers held you after getting the jump on you. Must you keep reminding me? But it's the room where I got to see your awesome Ngo face.
didn't need to remind me of that mortifying moment either. Is that it then? Okay. Oh. Hey, there's a trapdoor in this room too. It's not a trapdoor, it's an entrance to an underground passage, okay?
I know that.
The door leading to the outside world was locked, so Lance must have escaped his prison through here. Allegedly. The common denominator between the cups and folding chairs is the number 3. Speaking of which, the number of missing costumes is also 3. Wait, but I thought there were only 2 kidnappers. Indeed, something isn't adding up. Literally. Is it possible there's a 3rd kidnapper that Lance didn't see? No. Somehow... Somehow, I think Lance is one of the kidnappers. I think Lance, Lauren, and Robin, or what was his name? Colin, Lance, Lauren. They hatched this plan to extort money out of the dad. What was his name? Ernest. Yeah, okay. That's what I think. It's a bit strange that the police had to force their way into an unlocked room. One look at the pristine door lock and anyone can see that it was not in use at the time. But the policeman outside said that it took 10 men to get it open. The door that was locked tight despite it being not locked at all. It can only be because of this.
Oh, you mean...
Yes, it was used to jam the door. Yeah, take a look at the door handle. Do you see how the handle is completely destroyed?
That's how the sword broke.
I thought that we might uncover the true identity of the kidnappers, but instead we've only uncovered more questions that need to be answered. What is it? Well. Mr. Edgeworth, am I correct? What are you doing suddenly popping out of the secret entrance like that? This is an underground passage used by staff members, sir. We Badgers also make use of it in our duties. Look, why don't you get out of there first, and then we'll talk, okay? I beg your pardon, miss.
Proto Badger, get! All right, only one more to go.
What are you getting all excited about?
Did you forget? The photo rally. Duh. See? Look, now all I have to do is get a picture of the Bad Badger and I'm done.
Ah, yes, I vaguely recall a contest or something of that sort. Wait, what? It's gone? But where'd it go? Wait a minute. Is that what the Proto Badgers... Okay. No. He's legit. But where'd it go? What happened? What's wrong? Bad Badger costume is missing, sir. Oh, is that all? Well, it's missing because the kidnappers stole it. I heard about how they were stolen. They said that only 3 of the costumes had been taken. What? He's saying that more than 3 of them are gone. Mr. Proto Badger, please tell me a little more about these costumes you use. What did you mean by a Bad Badger costume is missing? Why, just what I said, sir. We're 1 Bad Badger short. Counting the spares, we have 2 of each costume on hand at all times. Okay, so because one of them is walking around in the park, the other should be in that room. Actually, both of them should be in that room.
Huh? What do you mean?
Normally, we don't use the Bad Badger costumes. In fact, we only use them during a certain event at a set time each day. It's the stage show where the Bad Badger wreaks havoc around the park, and the other Badgers must work together to apprehend him, sir. I'm speechless that such a show exists. Well, sir, I was trying to explain to you the only time we use that costume.
Then does that make it near impossible to take a picture of the Bad Badger?
Personally, I can't believe that it's this close to showtime and there's no costume. Oh dear, what am I gonna do, sir? All this basically means is that the kidnappers stole 4 costumes in total.
Then are you saying that there are 4 kidnappers?
No, I don't think that's very likely.
Oh?
Recall the costumes for a minute.
The stolen ones, you mean?
What proves that a 4th kidnapper does not exist?
Take that!
If you had 4 people and you had one to steal a 4th costume, wouldn't you naturally go for the full set and steal a pink badger costume instead?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And yet, the kidnappers decided to steal another bad badger. I believe the culprits needed 2 bad badger costumes, but the question is, why? Oh, because one got shot up. It's got blood on it. The second Bad Badger costume. I believe it may be closer at hand than we think.
What do you mean?
That costume in the trash. Wouldn't you say that it's wearing some very telltale pants?
Hey, you're right. Let's get it out of there and take a look.
Is there gonna be blood on? Oh, as I suspected. It's a Bad Badger costume.
Well, minus the head.
I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny.
Look, its hand is hurt.
Looks more like something was ripped off of it. Ripped off of it. Wonder why this Bad Badger costume's right hand is torn up like that.
Maybe it's a flesh wound from a fight with the Blue Badger. I always knew the Blue Badger was one ferocious beast.
I somehow doubt that even real badgers are as bloodthirsty as that, Kay. Unused folding chairs lean against the wall in their folded state. Ones over by the table probably came from the stack. Is this puzzle milking into any of the evidence I hold?
That looks like the shape of the pendant. Is he holding the pendant?
This is a clear understanding of the facts. Huh? What are you talking about?
Are you going to fill me in or not?
Wait, maybe it's not quite so clear.
Even so, it's still a contradiction, right?
Or it might not be.
You're acting really weird, Mr. Edgeworth. Just tell me if it's a contradiction or not.
My apologies. There's definitely something off about this costume. If only I could envision the truth in my head, I'd be one step closer to it. Okay. Envision the truth in my... Oh, but I already did that. I don't... Okay.
Okay. Maybe it's... Maybe it's gunshot burns? Shot the gun, and the flames from the explosion burned his hands? It's a gunshot residue? But how am I supposed to prove that? Picture? Wonder why this blue summon turn up like that. Flesh wound from a fight with the blue badger. My other. Alright, I'm all out of ideas. What other evidence can we use? Wait. Something missing from the costume? Besides the gun? Not really. I don't know. I'm all out of ideas. I'm gonna have to look this up. Hold on. Let's see. This is usually where I like to go to get my answers. StrategyWiki.org. Alright, here we go. Kidnap, turnabout. Middle, 2. Let's see. Okay. Uh-huh. Examine the right hand. Deduce the right hand and present the Blue Badger Bible. The costume is also missing its gun. Well, no shit, of course it is missing its gun. Who cares? Who gives a shit? It's missing bullet holes. It's missing a lot of things. How is this the point to... Fuck off, man. Just go away. Just go in a cave somewhere and die. Fuck off. I believe what we have here is an inconsistency. Inconsistency. Between what? Look carefully. Our costume is not holding something in its right hand as it should be. Oh, the gun! Precisely. Bad Badger was designed to always hold a gun in his right hand. However, but it's glued on, is it? You there? Did you remove the gun from this Bad Badger's right hand? No, I did not. No, I did not, sir. The gun is supposed to be securely attached to the costume. As I thought. The rip itself confirms my hypothesis that the gun was forcibly removed. Mr. Proto Badger, the gun is, of course, not a functioning weapon, correct? Absolutely not, sir. It's just a model gun. However, it can fire blanks. We need to use them for the stage show. Seems our kidnappers also had a need for the model gun, my dear costume friend. Cool. I think we're about done with this room. So, what's next? Well, we found a few answers, but there are still a few things left that we have to ask a certain person about. Let's go, Kay. March 13th, 3:34 p.m., Wild Wild West area. Mr. Edgewood, sir! You gotta hurry, sir, come on! What is it, detective? They found a Blue Badger costume down in front of the main gate, sir. What? Isn't that what one of the kidnappers was wearing? Bingo! That's why you've got to come to the main gate with me right now. If we hurry, we still might be able to get there before Wolf Boy does, sir. Alright, let's make haste to the main gate. To be continued. Alright then. Alright, well, we still got time to do more of this, so sure. If we end up finishing the entire case today, then so be it. Let's keep going. March 13th, 3:45 p.m., Gatewater Land main gate. Where's the costume, Detective Gumshoe? Just on the other side of the fountain, sir. Was it out here in the open all along? No, it was discovered in the tall grass back there. We moved it out here in order to examine it more thoroughly. Now let's get down to it. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. This headpiece. This must be the Blue Badger officer Meekins crossed path with. Oh, the nerve of someone throwing a Blue Badger away like this. I worked so hard to create this character. It's like my baby. How could someone do this, sir? How? Detective, how about channeling your anger towards finding the culprits? Good idea. Oh, wait until I got my hands on... So, who are they, Mr. Edgeworth? Why don't you try figuring it out yourself for a change? It's the Blue Badger's body section. What a waste. How so? Go through all the trouble to steal this costume, only to throw it away in the end. A real thief wouldn't do such a thing. Nope, no way. I wouldn't think a real thief would steal something so gaudy to begin with. What do we have here? Oh, it's another pendant. That's 2 treasures in one day. How lucky is that? And hey, this pretty baby is made of platinum silver too.
Another pendant on top of the one we found on Mr. Deacon. Is it possible that these two... Hold it right there! Hands off, Mr. Prosecutor. You sure know how to cross the line, don't you? Pendant, huh? This is a very decisive piece of evidence. How can you tell? Look here and read off what you see. Lauren... Hey, Lauren. Hey, it's a name that's engraved on this. Aha! We have you now, Miss Kidnapper.
No, you don't understand.
Lolly, I can't believe you're one of my kidnappers.
Lance.
You're kidding. Miss Popes was one of the kidnappers.
Yes. It was me. I am Lance hostage.
So, Miss Popes is one of the kidnappers. But even knowing that, I can't call this case solved. Or over. Hey, guys, case closed. Get the car ready, and I mean the special one for this young lady.
Hold it!
Again, Mr. Prosecutor? What is it this time? Are you proposing that Miss Popes is also the culprit in the murder case? What happened? I thought Officer Meekins was your suspect. We found it. Found what? That officer's gun? He literally dropped it in the middle of a thick patch of grass. Your country's police are a sham. Just look how careless they are. Who are you calling a sham? The officer's gun didn't show signs of having been fired, so it can't be the murder weapon. So Officer Meekins has been cleared of all charges, I see. And that's when a brand new suspect comes walking onto the scene. The murder only happened because the kidnappers started fighting amongst themselves. As I recall, it was you who said that, right, Mr. Prosecutor? Miss Popes, did you really kill Mr. Deacon?
Yes, I killed him.
I can't believe it. Thanks for the confession. Agent Lang, it's much too early to declare this case closed. Look at you, so sure of yourself. We've got the culprit's own confession and some very incriminating evidence. What more could you ask for? Miss Lawrence Bobs?
Yes?
I want to hear it from you. Tell me your side of all that's happened today, from the kidnapping to the murder.
But why? I'm a kidnapper and a killer. Isn't that enough?
Oh. It's fine if you're the one behind everything, but only if that is the truth.
Yeah.
Now then, will you tell us the truth? Or is there some reason why you can't?
I better change of heart. I think I'd enjoy seeing you sulk away as a losing mutt. Alright, you heard me. Let's hear about all the evil deeds you committed today. The one who came up with the kidnapping plan was the butler, Mr. Deacon. We knew that we could get rich by holding Lance hostage. Mr. Emmanuel paid and to get his son back after all. Everything was going according to plan, but as soon as we got the money, Mr. Deacon turned on me and tried to kill me.
There, are you satisfied? She just confessed to her crimes a second time. At least you have the guts to admit what you've done. Can at least respect that much. Miss Popes, is what you said really the truth?
Yes, it is.
That is the truth. It certainly isn't the whole truth. Because there is something that seems a bit too improbable in her confession.
When we came up with the kidnapping plan was the butler, Mr. Deacon.
Hold it!
How well did you know the victim?
I've spoken with him only a few times at Lance's house.
Few times? That's it?
Yes.
They only met a few times. I don't see how they could have trusted each other.
If you hardly ever told him, how can he trust you not to see this plan?
Not so fast!
That's completely irrelevant. He was planning to betray her from the very beginning. Which is why he chose someone he wasn't especially close to. Isn't that right, Sheena?
Yes, however, Mr. Deacon made a very poor choice. in the end, he was killed by the one he intended to betray himself.
Ha! I bet he didn't see that one coming.
We knew that we could get rich by holding Lance hostage. Mr. Romano would pay anything to get his son back, after all. Oh, oops. We knew that we could get rich by holding Lance hostage.
Hold it!
You knew? How did you know something like that?
Oh no, what should I do?
Okay, what's wrong with her now?
Come on, isn't it obvious? You're making your scary face again, that's why. Why don't you try asking her in a nicer, more gentle way? No, stop it, Lauren. You're always like this. You always fall for the stern-looking one. That's why you always be unhappy.
Or maybe that's it. She's been bewitched by your icy glare. Mind your own business, Kay. Now then, Miss Pops, let's continue with your testimony.
No, yes, of course. Mr. Romano would pay anything to get his son back, after all.
Hold it!
Why did you believe that?
Anyone who knows Mr. Romano would think the same. I bet Lance is that old man's greatest treasure.
I suppose he would be to a doting father like Mr. Romano.
I always figured that was it too, and I was envious of Lance for it.
Oh, because your dad's...
I got this pendant from my father, and I believe that as long as I have this, I'll find my father again someday. He'll welcome me in his arms, riding on the back of Pegasus.
That pendant. You must surely believe it to be the wings of Pegasus.
Everything was going according to plan, but as soon as we got the money...
Hold it!
Would you mind telling us a little about the plan itself?
Well, first we captured Lance.
Ooh, how'd you do that?
Mr. Deacon did that on his own, so I don't quite know.
Honey, I thought you knew how to steal people away. I shudder to think what she would do with such knowledge.
Sorry, I really don't know, but somehow Mr. Deacon was able to contain him. All we had to do after that was wait for the ransom to be paid, but... Mr. Deacon turned on me and tried to kill me.
Hold it!
What do you think he did?
I have no idea, but maybe he had planned on doing so from the very beginning.
Miss Pops. Wait, Mr. Deacon planned to kill Miss Pops from the very beginning. Is that ever really likely to happen? What should I do? Should I raise an objection? I'm sorry, but I don't think what you just claimed is all that likely.
Huh?
I don't think Mr. Deacon would have ever been capable of killing you.
Why? We were total strangers. It's not uncommon for people to kill each other over money.
Miss Pops, you really are clueless, aren't you?
What do you mean?
You never knew what your role in the kidnapping was, nor do you know who you really are. But I do, and I can show you with this piece of evidence. This proves that Mr. Deacon wouldn't have been able to bring himself to kill Miss Pops.
Take that!
Why are you showing this to me?
So what about the pendant? So what about the pendant?
This horse pendant, along with this piece of evidence, shows who you really are.
Take that!
Does that really have anything to do with the pendant?
The heck, of course not.
I suppose not. There is something that is very clearly connected to this pendant. This pendant is the key that will open the door to the truth. This horse pendant, along with this piece of evidence, shows who you really are.
Take that!
These two pendants resemble each other, wouldn't you agree? Hey, you're right. They're the same color, and they're even made of the same material. I believe that these two pendants are actually one. Shall we give it a try? Wow, it's totally Pegasus.
But why? What does my pendant match up? Why does my pendant match up with Mr. Deacon's?
You're a smart lady. I'm sure you can imagine why that might be.
What? No, that can't be.
So the two make a set. Ha! Just another trinket. It's not as though this changes anything.
You like imagination, Agent Lang. Very well. I'll show you with this evidence. This is the piece of evidence that gives meaning to the Pegasus pendant.
Take that!
Oliver Deacon was just an alias for this man. His real name was Colin Devoray, the name that is etched on the horse pendant.
What? An alias?
I suppose he had to hide the fact that he was a felon somehow in order to live. And it makes sense given what is written in Mr. Devoray's dossier. What I really wanted to point out was this. This specific section is what reveals the true meaning behind those pendants.
Take that!
Mr. Devoret had one daughter, and her name is Lauren Pulse.
That's a lie! That person was not my father!
He couldn't come out and tell you he was your father because he was in hiding. However, I believe he was trying to secretly watch over you. Do you still believe that a man like that could kill the daughter he was separated from? Or even that such a man would allow his daughter to get involved in a kidnapping plot? And what is so funny, Agent Lang?
You're good at making things up in your head and deciding it's the truth, aren't you?
What are you trying to say?
Your thinking is much too innocent. After all, I've thought of another possibility.
Is that so? Well, let's hear it.
I'll grant you that the two of them are father and daughter. But isn't it possible that they both knew the fact? It was no coincidence that the reunited pair became involved in the House of Amano, and the two of them made good use of their meetings to plan this little kidnapping. Wouldn't you say my scenario is perfectly probable? Wouldn't you say my scenario is perfectly probable as well?
Fucking hell. So, this is his version of how things might have been.
You don't have any proof that either one didn't know of their true relationship, right?
I mean, they knowingly committed the kidnapping as father and daughter.
That's right. As one really rotten family.
Is that really what happened? I better take a long, hard look at the evidence.
I'll grant you the two of them are father and daughter.
Hold it!
Precisely. And what father would ever willingly kill his own daughter?
I've seen a lot of things in my travels, and I can tell you that being related by blood is sometimes proof of nothing. But isn't it possible that they both knew the fact?
Hold it!
You think they knew?
Yeah, I don't think only the victim knew. I think the girl realized it as well. They both knew who the other person was, but they had to pretend that they didn't.
Because he was on the lam?
You got it. Victim couldn't exactly go around flaunting who he was. Furthermore, it was no coincidence that the reunited pair became involved in the House of Amano.
Hold it!
One is a butler and one is the friend of the son, you mean?
They probably thought that was their best shot.
Is that what you honestly believe?
Of course. And the two of them made good use of their meetings to plan this little kidnapping.
Hold it!
You mean how they plotted to commit this crime as blood relatives?
Can you think of a better partner? They're certainly a clever pair.
The butler and the girlfriend. No one would ever suspect that they were in fact a family.
Yes, from the very beginning, they painstakingly practiced those roles well. Would you say my scenario is perfectly probable as well?
Hold it!
I believe you're being a bit too overconfident for someone with no evidence.
Am I? Because I don't see you presenting any evidence to the contrary.
Sigh. Without evidence, we're stuck in a stalemate. Agent Lang isn't wrong. His scenario is certainly a probable one.
You better hurry up and do something, or Lauren's gonna wind up looking really bad.
I know, but first things first, is Agent Lang's line of logic factually correct? Did the two of them really knowingly commit the crime as father and daughter? How do we discount that theory? It's been in the shape of a pair of wings. It has a rather nice aesthetic to it.
Hey, nice to see that even you can appreciate its beauty. Things made of platinum silver tend to have a nice feeling about them, you know?
I was only talking about its shape, Kay.
Oh, is that what you were talking about? But, you know, we're talking about wing shapes. I think the brooch on my scarf is way cooler.
That's not made of platinum silver, is it?
It's handmade, okay? So I'm sorry that it's not made of the expensive stuff.
She made that by herself. It's incredibly well crafted. Lauren D is engraved into this pendant. I see that they wrote out her first name, but why just the D? Maybe it's the result of poor planning?
I guess. Well, at least if I had to shorten my name, I could make it K Faraday. That way, even if you just sounded it out, it'd still say my name, K Faraday.
I suppose if I had to do the same, I would also abbreviate it to M. Edgeworth.
Hold on, I think you should abbreviate it as ME. Get it?
Who would have thought that this little pendant could stir up such a strange conversation?
Ah, okay.
Do we try to point out the fact that there are 3 kidnappers?
Objection!
Okay, wow, okay. I didn't think that would work, but there we go. This kidnapping wasn't planned by just 2 people alone.
What kind of proof do you have of that?
Quite simply, there were 3 kidnappers.
3?!
4 costumes were stolen from the Wild Wild West area's back room. We found one of them in the kidnapper's hideout. But as for the other 3, we can assume they were being worn by 3 different people. We also found a set of 3 cups and 3 folding chairs that were used in the hideout. It all clearly points to a 3-man group. And I believe this 3rd person is the real mastermind behind the kidnapping.
Who? Who is this mastermind?
I present to you the brains behind the kidnapping. Wendy Oldbag.
Take that!
Fuck it, here we go.
Lance Mano!
Yes, this abduction was, in fact, schemed up by Lance himself. Recall what he said when he appeared before us.
You see the face of your kidnappers? No, I didn't see their faces. 2, 1 was a woman.
However, there were 3 kidnappers, which is in direct contradiction to what he said.
But, I only know I saw 2 people. I know I only saw 2 people. This guy was being held hostage. It's possible he couldn't see all 3 of them.
Ah, yes, about when you were being held. I have my doubts about what happened then. Lance, would you mind telling us what happened while you were being held captive?
I really don't remember much anymore. Honest. If I don't tell you at least something, you won't believe me at all, will you?
Pretty much, buddy. So, better start talking.
I was kidnapped yesterday morning. They had me shut in that room blindfolded the entire time. But the kidnappers suddenly disappeared around the time I heard rain falling outside. My hands were cuffed, but it was a stroke of luck that they left me alone. I made my escape and ran away from that room as fast as I could.
Through the underground passageway, I presume.
Are you okay? Sorry, I really didn't want to recall that horrible ordeal, but now you believe me, right?
No, not quite yet.
How could he not? Why do you look at me with icy daggers in your eyes?
Because he's a prosecutor, and because they're all like that.
I'll have you know, Agent Lang, a prosecutor's eyes are for discerning the truth. And should they be interpreted to be cruel at times, then so be it. There is a second point in Lance's testimony. Let's see what he offers up when I push a little.
I was kidnapped yesterday morning.
Hold it!
Can you tell us about when you were abducted in a little more detail?
It was a strange morning. Felt like I was right in the middle of a great calm.
And where were you when you experienced this calm?
My family's garden, of course. Where else could it have been? Where else could it have been?
Well, excuse me for asking. This child is more princess than prince. Excuse me, princess.
I was out taking a walk to shake up the morning blah. Then, out of the blue, someone from behind clamped his hand over my mouth.
You didn't see your attacker.
They must have used some drug to knock me out. Because before I knew it, I was off in La La Land again. And When I woke up, I was in the kidnapper's hideout already, all tied up. They had me shut in that room blindfolded the entire time.
Hold it!
By that room, you mean the room in the kidnapper's hideout, correct?
Yeah, but I was blindfolded the whole time, so I didn't know that until I made my escape.
Then you were in the same room as your kidnappers.
They spoke in hushed tones, but I could catch bits of their conversation. There was definitely two people, and one of them was definitely a woman. I was so scared, I could tell they were nearby, so I didn't dare to make a move. But the kidnappers suddenly disappeared around the time I heard rain falling outside.
Hold it!
The kidnappers disappeared.
The room fell into a sudden silence. I'd been left behind like an unwanted mutt.
What do you mean by unwanted mud? What a pointless question. It's not like he's going to tell you anything new, you know.
It's a poetic simile. You should learn how to use them too. You may look refined on the outside, but it's no good if you're not refined on the inside as well. My hands were cuffed, but it was a stroke of luck that they left me alone.
Hold it!
Then, those cuffs on your wrists, I suppose you are still cuffed in that case.
I am well aware of how I am chained to reality. I couldn't find a key, so I'm afraid that I'm stuck like this. Even though I escaped from that jail cell, I will forever be a prisoner. I made my escape and ran away from that room as fast as I could.
Hold it!
How did you manage to escape?
I wanted to just get out of there, but the door leading outside was locked, which is why I had to use the underground passageway to make my escape.
I remember our escape to be equally as hard. This is an invaluable piece of testimony. I mustn't let it go unexamined.
The door leading outside was locked tight, so I had to use the underground passageway.
Hold it!
By underground passageway, you mean the one the staff uses to travel unnoticed?
I suppose that's what it's for, but I didn't run into any staff members on my way out. Once I was up top, I was busy trying to find a member of the police.
That is when you found us congregated at the stadium, I suppose. Let me ask you then, how did you get a hold of the key to the underground door?
That was easy. It was hanging right there in the room on the wall.
I do recall a key hanging on the wall right beside the table.
Who does that bring back memories of our situation and how we made our escape?
Indeed, and although the door in the floor of our room led to an underground room, the door in the floor of the room next door had a secret passageway.
A secret passageway under a theme park. Ooh, that sounds like so much fun.
I wonder, is there something off about the way Lance made us escape?
Objection!
Bam.
You said that the door leading out was locked, but was it really?
We're talking about that room behind the saloon front, right? Look, I heard that it took quite a few men to get that thing open. Right, Gina?
Yes, that is correct.
Then take a look at this!
What is that? A sword? Not an especially reliable one, if it's broken like that.
Allow me to start from the end. My conclusion is that the door was never locked. It was simply held shut by the sword, which was used to jam the handle. Lance, even though your hands were cuffed together, you could still use them. If that's the case, then why did you not just simply remove the sword and escape?
Why didn't I was disoriented. Yeah, that's it. I didn't notice it.
As if I should accept such a bold-faced lie. You locked yourself in their room because you had to make yourself look like the victim. But you did not in fact possess the key to the door. That is why you used the prop sword to improvise and create a prison of your very own!
You've been making this guy out to be one of the kidnappers for some time now. I wonder if you've forgotten something very important along the way.
And what would that be?
A motive. What else? Do you honestly think that an upright, pure boy like him would hatch out a completely pointless scheme such as kidnapping himself?
This proves that Lance did indeed have a motive to commit this crime.
Ah.
Take that!
To put it simply, Lance has a very urgent need for money. This is hardly your typical love letter, it is in fact a collections bill. It appears our upstanding boy has accumulated quite a debt. Isn't that right, Lance? Looks like it's hard being the son of a rich man, too. Must be rough when you have to resort to stealing from your own old man, eh?
Alright, I give up. I abducted myself. Lance! It's over, Lolly. In this life, we really are bound to our fates after all. All I wanted was to go with you to a new town, somewhere where no one would know us. All I wanted us to be well off with that $1 million, but now, that dream is over. Oh, Lace.
Then you are giving yourself up.
Yes. Yeah, I plan to run away from this world with my Lolly. Oliver even helped us with the plan, but then he had to go and stab us in the back.
He turned on you.
Maybe he didn't want to split the ransom money. That's my guess. It happened almost right after he made the drop-off. When we were alone, he attacked me all of a sudden. After a brief struggle, I was able to contain him and keep him under control. We left him inside that room as Lottie and I made our escape. We wore different costumes to split up. Lottie left first in the blue badger costume.
That would mean the person Officer Meekins saw was Miss Pops.
Alright then, the old man just had to wake up. I was careless. He tackled me pretty hard from behind. Then Oliver put on a bad badger costume, took the suitcase with $1 million and ran. I contacted Lolly right away and warned her that he had a gun. They had no idea that they were related, so I thought that it could only end badly. I still don't believe it. That prison was not my father. Because if he was, I just killed my own father. Lolly, then it really was you?
Fuck's sake. It's fucking high school drama bullshit.
That man was not my father. I mean, because at the city, there was a bad badger pulling the suitcase with the $1 million in it. $1 million in it. But that badger pointed his gun at me, aiming to shoot me dead. That's why I used the gun I got from Lance. It was a gunshot. The other person crumpled to the ground. I ran, scared for my life.
Oh, she used the prop gun.
I think the big picture is finally coming into focus, don't you?
Lolly, forgive me. I didn't think it would turn into something so frightening. If only I could have protected you.
So, Miss Pops, she shot her own dad without even knowing who he really was. If what she says is true,
You say she's lying. Why would she lie about something like that? What purpose would it serve?
you would be surprised how often people lie without even realizing it themselves, okay?
Huh? What's that supposed to mean?
What I mean is, listen very carefully to her confession once more and you'll see. Yeah. She used the prop gun.
That man was not my father. I mean, because at the stadium.
Hold it!
Please calm down and let's slowly talk through this.
But
All you have to do is simply tell us what happened at the stadium. Leave it to us to search out the truth. Can you do that for me?
Alright, so at the stadium, there was a bad badger pulling the suitcase with the $1 million in it.
Hold it!
That was the ransom money, wasn't it?
Yes, that's how I was able to identify Mr. Deacon almost immediately. It was all thanks to what Lance told me.
But what did he tell you?
Well, he called me on my cell phone and told me that Mr. Deacon had betrayed us and had run off with the ransom money. And about how he had a gun.
Okay, this is what happened. In the kidnapper's room, Lance killed Deacon, or Colin. Lance killed Deacon, then dressed up as Deacon, dressed up as the Bad Badger. He went on stage, pretended to shoot her. She shot him with the prop gun. He pretended to be dead. He basically gaslit her into thinking that she killed her own dad, when in fact, her dad was already dead. That's my conclusion. Let's see.
That badger pointed his gun at me, aiming to shoot me dead.
Hold it!
Were you able to clearly see the gun?
Yes, I got a very good look at it while it was pointed at me. Oh, father, why would you try to shoot me?
You really think a father would shoot his own daughter, Mr. Edgeworth? I don't know. I don't want to believe it myself.
It's true. My father's left arm was raised with a gun in it. pointed straight at me. I'm about to die, I thought.
Miss Pops, please calm down and take a deep breath. And then, would you allow me to please hear that last statement one more time?
Yes, of course.
There we go.
That badger pointed the gun in his left hand at me, aiming to shoot me dead.
Hold it.
And you felt that your life was in danger, correct?
Yes, I'm about to die, I thought. So, that's why I used the gun I got from Lane's.
Hold it.
You shot Mr. Deacon. Miss Pops.
Yes, I shot him.
And that, as they say, is that.
Agent Lang, Miss Pops is far from done. She hasn't even finished her testimony yet.
You're gonna continue questioning her? What a waste of time.
Miss Pops, if you please.
Alright. There was a gunshot. The other prisoner crumbled to the ground and I ran, scared for my life.
Hold it.
Did you take off immediately following the gunshot?
Yes,
And you didn't attempt to approach the victim at all after he was shot?
I was scared.
I don't blame you. I would have done the exact same thing. Call Miss Pops. What will become of her, Mr. Edgeworth? She seems to be telling the truth regarding what happened at the stadium. However, I don't believe it to be absolutely correct. Listen very carefully to her confession once more and you'll see.
Objection.
I have here a dossier on your father. And according to this, your father was right-handed.
Then,
The person pointing a gun at you from atop the stage was not Mr. Deacon.
Knuckle back.
Hold on there, Mr. Prosecutor. I think you need to take a refresher course. The Bad Badger has a model gun attached to his right hand, which is why the only hand he could have held the real gun with was his left. Isn't it possible that it went down like that?
Agent Lang, were you paying attention to what Miss Pops was saying? Then again, I suppose I can expect someone who has never set foot in court to catch it.
Enough with the smugness. Out with it already.
Miss Pops told us earlier.
it was a bad badger put in the suitcase with the $1 million in it.
According to you, the Bad Badger had the gun in his left hand, which would mean that he was pulling the suitcase with his right hand. Is that correct, Miss Pops?
Yes, exactly. I'm sure it was the bad badger. It has those huge sunglasses on its face.
But if that's the case, even I can see there's a huge contradiction.
Yes, Miss Pops claims to have seen the Bad Badger, and yet the Bad Badger had both of his hands full. These two pieces of information contradict each other, so one must be wrong. Miss Pops, what you saw was not the Bad Badger. Think back and recall which character was it that leveled the gun at you.
But it was wearing a pair of sunglasses and it had that strange blue beard. That sums up the bad badger pretty well, I'd say.
Too bad for you, but it looks like the Bad Badger wasn't a mistake here.
I need to think carefully about the facts here. Miss Pops claims to have seen the Bad Badger, and yet the Bad Badger had both of his hands full with something or another. These two pieces of information contradict each other, so one must be wrong. Holding a gun in his right hand as he pulls the suitcase with the same hand. Isn't it possible for a right-handed person to do both things simultaneously?
Your deduction is full of one too many conjectures, don't you think, Mr. Prosecutor?
I suppose it is pretty difficult, if not impossible. It would appear that both of the Bad Badger's hands were occupied, yet Miss Pops claims to have seen the Bad Badger. These two pieces of information contradict each other, so one must be wrong. They are both correct.
Impossible! That just leaves us with an irresolvable contradiction.
Miss Pops' entire statement rests on the fact that she saw his sunglasses and beard. But what if the Bad Badger wasn't wearing pants on his lower half? This proves that there was a way for the Bad Badger to freely use both of his hands.
Take that.
The costumes have two parts to them, a head and the body.
Oh, I get it now.
The head Miss Pops saw was probably really the head of the Bad Badger.
That's what I was trying to say, but the game wasn't following my logic.
But, whatever.
So she did see the blue bat. She did see the bad badger, but she didn't see the bad badger. Okay, got it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Is it not possible that the body was that of an entirely different badger?
Different badger?
Yeah, so to put it more bluntly, I believe it was the lower half of this badger. The body of the bad badger Miss Pops saw really belonged to this badger.
Take that!
What the heck is it? It's the proto badger.
Yes, and it's a simple matter of process of elimination. Miss Pops was wearing the blue badger's costume, so we can eliminate that one. And the pink badger is of their own color, which would have been incredibly obvious. All that is left is the proto badger costume. Miss Pops, who was the one who wore the proto badger costume?
That would be Liz.
Not the best!
Are you saying what I think you are? Last Amana donned the bad badger's head and pretended to be Mr. Deacon? On top of which he plotted to shoot Miss Pops while wearing that idiot's thing?
The stage that was set up in the stadium was nothing more than that, a setup. And its purpose was to lead Miss Pops into believing she had committed murder. Standing there in front of Miss Pops and pretending to be the victim, it was all done so that she would pull the trigger.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Why exactly would I have to do all that, huh?
There is but one reason. Lance Amano, you are the real culprit behind the murder of Mr. Oliver Deacon.
What? No! That's slander! Take it back! You take it back right now!
Just out of curiosity, Lance, which is your dominant hand?
I'm left-handed, but what does that have to do with anything?
It depends. According to Miss Pops, her attacker held the gun in his left hand.
Not the best!
Ha! Who was that? Who is what-handed doesn't prove a thing. And besides, now you're just being absurd. It's not like the Proto Badger is bulletproof. One misfire and he would have found himself dead, right?
Objection!
Of course, logically, if he had been shot, he probably wouldn't be here with us. But I believe he had thought of that as well, and prepared accordingly. And this should be all the evidence you need. This is how Lance made sure that he wouldn't be hit by a bullet.
Take that!
We found one half of a bad badger costume in the hideout, a broken one. It was not the same one that the victim was wearing, plus it was missing something. And that something is the model gun that the bad badger carries, which can fire blanks.
What?
Miss Pops, where is the gun you use now?
I threw it away into the sea.
That makes it a bit tough to verify what it was, although I believe that we can safely assume that it was the model gun in question.
Not the best!
I've heard enough. All you've been spouting so far is pure conjecture.
I admit that as long as the model gun is lost to us, I can't prove I'm right. However, I can say that the probability that I am right is very high.
Okay, so let's pretend you're right. And then the murder at the stadium was a fabrication. In that case, where do you think the murder really took place, Mr. Prosecutor?
I don't know yet.
Ha! I knew you were full of it.
However, I do believe that the murder took place during an earlier time frame.
Please wait a second. Simply not possible. Because I saw Mr. Deacon after he was restrained by Lance.
She saw the victim in the state of being restrained. Alright. Go on then. Let's hear it.
I came back to the hideout long after the other two. By that time, Lance had already subdued and restrained Mr. Deacon. He had time Mr. Deacon secured the beam in the room next door. After that, the two of us put on our costumes and made our escape.
Wait a minute. Oh, Black Romeo, hello. No, I've never played Ace Attorney Investigations. That's why I'm calling this stream blind playthrough. Because, you know, I'm coming at this completely blind. I have no prior knowledge of Ace Attorney Investigations. I've heard some things here or there. Like, I knew that, you know, Francesca makes a cameo. I've heard that Meekins makes a cameo. Stuff like that. But, no, I haven't played Ace Attorney Investigations before. This is my first time. So, there we go.
So, Mr. Deacon must have escaped after the two of you left, right? Thought that he'd attract too much attention if we'd left together, so I left first. We planned to meet up again at the stage in the stadium. But then, As I was walking through the park, I got a call from Lance on my cell phone. Oliver managed to escape. Looked like he was waiting until I was alone. He also saw the gun from me at that time. And then the murder happened. Mr. Deacon must have overheard their plan to meet up at the stage. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, Miss Bob saw the victim with her own eyes. Which means that the victim was still alive at that time. Wouldn't you agree?
Why does that sound wrong to me? There must be something amiss about this account. Oh, yeah, it's all good, Black Armor. Not a big deal. Okay. See what happens when I examine it in more detail. Yeah, come on. This is obvious. The person that was tied up in the next room was me. I can clearly prove this. So, here we go.
I came back to the hideout long after the other two.
Hold it!
When exactly did you arrive back at the hideout?
It was after we had picked up the ransom money.
And where were you up until the time you returned?
I was scouting the park out and making preparations for our escape. I walked around in the various areas looking for the best route.
Ah, so each of them had their own rules to play.
After I was done, I went back to the hideout. By that time, Lance had already subdued and restrained Mr. Deacon.
Oh, shit.
Hold it!
How did Lance look at that time?
He looked shocked. He also looked a little down. When I saw that sadness in his eyes, I...
Thank you, that's enough for now. And what of Mr. Deacon? What was his situation like?
He had tied Mr. Deacon's security to the beam in the room next door.
Hold it!
You are sure that it was Mr. Deacon that you saw?
Yes, I'm certain of what I saw.
Did you go into the other room to check?
Lance said it was best if I didn't get too close to him. Lance, he's such a kind soul.
Then, are you telling me that you did not confirm that it was Mr. Deacon for yourself?
I checked through the slit in the door that separates the two rooms. He had a Bad Badger's head on, so I'm absolutely sure. That just had to be Mr. Deacon.
You saw Bad Badger head.
He can't have had a Bad Badger's head on, so I'm absolutely sure it was Mr. Deacon.
Hold it!
So the tied up Mr. Deacon was still in his Bad Badger costume.
Yes, and...
It would appear that she misread the whole situation. What now? Should I raise an objection? Okay, sure. The person you saw was not the victim.
What? Why not?
I will tell you why not with this. This, Miss Pops, shows us that the person you saw was not the victim.
Take that!
Miss Pops, the person you saw was not Mr. Deacon at all.
Huh?
The person you actually saw was this person. It was me.
Huh? President, I said it was you, Mr. Edgeworth.
I always thought it was a bit odd. Why would the kidnappers abduct me, even after I had handed over the ransom? It's not as though I saw the face of the kidnappers. If I were them, I would have just taken the $1 million and ran. But in the end, there was a point to it all. It was to make me look like Mr. Deacon. And if that was the reason for which I was abducted, then I believe we can assume that the victim was already dead at that time. Well, Lance, am I right?
That's...
You showed Miss Pops a person, namely me, with a Bad Badger's head on, and then made your costume escape together. Or so you pretended.
Huh? What do you mean he pretended?
Exactly that. I believe Lance watched you escape and then doubled back to the hideout. Probably to come and remove the Bad Badger head from my unconscious self. And to create his fake prison with the prop sword, he then escaped via the passageway.
Hold your tongue, boy. Don't get caught up in that tidal wave of words coming out of Mr. Prosecutor's mouth.
Tidal wave?
We've heard a lot come out of you, but I've yet to see a shred of evidence. Victim's betrayal and subsequent detainment. All of that could have happened while you were out cold. That's right. You were out for quite a while, Mr. Prosecutor.
Even if that were the case, Miss Pops would have still seen me tied to that beam.
I was scared of Mr. Deacon, so I didn't go in the next room. So I really have no idea if you were in there or not, Mr. Edgeworth.
You see, it would seem that you can't prove a thing. Who said that?
Please, wait. Mr. Amano. Ho ho ho! Myers, my boy! Looks like you're really giving it your all. And Lance, it's not good to cause trouble for others.
Dad?
Let's see, you are the one in charge of the investigation, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
I'm sorry that my son has been nothing but trouble. This probably won't make up for anything, but I have some evidence for you.
Oh, do you now?
Is that what I think it is? It's a badge costume the victim was wearing. I couldn't wait around for the police, so I went and found these myself. It appears that they were disposed of in the sea.
Is there no one in this country who actually obeys the law?
There now. Agent Lang, please calm down.
Thanks, that scrap of paper.
This appears to be a letter from the Chief of Police. Police allow Mr. Amano complete freedom to do as he sees fit, it says.
What? The Chief of Police? What the? So who does he think he is?
The person who wields the highest authority in this area.
Hey there now. There is no need to be so upset.
Not a cop from this land, so I'm not bound by the laws of your country.
No. This wasn't meant to strong-arm me into anything. It's just a request. I'm only asking you to please respect the laws of the land.
Can't really say no to that. However, returning to the topic at hand, doesn't matter who found the evidence. Its value remains unchanged. Alright, now let's take a look at this new evidence.
I've already got the results back. I had a special forensics research lab that I'm on good terms with conduct the tests. They verified that the blood on this costume belonged to Oliver. As for the gun, the only fingerprints I could find were yours, Lauren. What? You disappoint me, Miles. I can't believe that you would cause my son such stress and heartache. Thank goodness I was able to find the final piece of evidence. With this, you'll have no reason left to push my poor boy around. That's it? These are the case-making pieces of evidence? Huh, I'll be the judge of that. Our own residents have inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. What's this? Looks like there's something inside the costume. Hey, they sparkle. I bet they're really valuable. Sorry, but they're just pieces of a mirror. Why are they in here? This bullet hole. Looks kind of burnt around the edges. Wait, those burn marks were left by the gunpowder. This is the most important fact. This is a most important fact.
Why's that?
Because it is proof that the victim was shot at point-blank range. Could this gun be the actual murder weapon? Well, are these not the most definitive piece of evidence you've ever seen?
Heck, Dad, this should be enough to convince even Mr. Edgeworth over there.
Not so fast, pal.
Make no mistake, there are fingerprints on that murderer's gun. They prove there was Lottie who killed Oliver. But Oliver was also after Lottie's life. So, Mr. Edgeworth, even you must hear that Lottie was only acting in self-defense.
The fingerprints on the weapon, huh?
Oh no, this isn't helpful at all. Look, Mr. Edgeworth, all I want to do is save Lolly. But in the end, all I can do is watch on as she takes the punishment for her crimes.
That may be all you can do, however, I still have a case to solve and a job to do. The job of unraveling your insidious lie.
You ruined me. Why won't you believe me even in the face of all this evidence? Make no mistake, there are fingerprints on that murderer's gun.
Hold it!
Those fingerprints, are you sure they belong to Miss Forbes?
There's no mistake about it. Through my connections, I had the best forensics techniques money can buy before.
I found that to be a bit peculiar.
What? Are you trying to pick an argument with me?
What should I do? Should I raise an objection? Frankly, I don't believe that Miss Pops' prints should be on that gun to begin with. Oh, and the reason why Miss Pops' prints should not be on the gun is...
Take that!
It's simply not possible for Miss Pops to have left any prints on the meta weapon. Because while she was at the stadium, Miss Pops was wearing a costume.
Huh? But there's been no mistake. We found fingerprints.
Well, Miss Pops, do you remember touching the gun at all and at any time?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I did hold it for a bit back in the hideout. I handed it off to Mr. Deacon when he and Lance left for that haunted house.
To retrieve the ransom money, I suppose. And there you have it. That is when Miss Pops' prints found their way onto the gun. You understand now, Mr. Romano? The fingerprints do nothing to prove that Miss Pops is the murderer.
But you still don't have anything to prove that she isn't the killer, right?
You seem very adamant about insisting that your girlfriend is a cold-blooded killer.
Oh, Liz. What? No way! I'm incredibly worried about her. But that doesn't change the fact that you don't have any evidence, right?
That's where you're wrong. I have the evidence.
What? How?
The story that Miss Pops killed the victim at the stage in the stadium, the whole affair is simply not true, because that was not the real crime scene, but a setup. This proves that the real murder was not committed at the stadium at all. The glass.
Take that!
This piece of evidence proves that the real crime scene is not in fact the stadium.
Mr. Prosecutor, I'd have to rate that piece of logic a 0 out of 10.
Zero? This at least a 6.8 out of 10.
This way, Gladys gonna wind up getting arrested.
Must remain calm and think clearly. If the murder did not happen at the stadium, then the scenario where the victim was up on the stage and Miss Pops was down below, there must be something that invalidates it. This proves that the real murder was not committed at the stadium at all. Okay, maybe not the glass. Let's examine the revolver. They found Miss Pops' fingerprints on this gun.
Let me hold it for a sec.
I shouldn't if you don't know how to handle it. Besides, Miss Pops' prints are on it.
Look, I'm wearing gloves. It'll be okay. I just want to take a look, that's all. It's not like I'm going to run off with it. The only things I don't return are treasures.
Stealing either one would land you in jail, you know. Any bullets inside? Okay. This proves that real murder was not committed at the stadium at all. Oh, because there was no blood at the stadium too? I guess, okay.
Take that!
Okay. The murder did not happen at the stadium, then the scenario where the victim was up on the stage and Miss Pops was down below must be something that invalidates it.
Take that!
I don't follow. Okay. I'll have to use the guide, I guess. Okay. Hold on. Let's see here. Where are we? Oh, we're near the end. Okay. Raise an objection. Stolen costumes. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. That's my bad. That's my bad. Completely missed out on that. Okay. Yes. Okay. I didn't make that connection. Yeah, of course. Of course, there's a distance from the stage to the where. Okay, yeah. Makes sense. Okay.
Take that!
Sorry. Completely blanked out there. Alright. Let's take another good look at the costume the victim was wearing. Then, I believe you will see why I insist he was not shot at the stadium. This is the part of the costume that proves it.
Take that!
The burn around this bullet hole was made when the victim was shot at point-blank range. Ah, so then you mean the murder Miss Oldback saw at the stadium really was... Yes, she saw two people, but they were separated by a distance. The victim was indeed shot from below the stage. There shouldn't be a gunpowder burn.
Look at you, Mr. Smarty Pants Prosecutor. Since you seem to know all the answers, why not tell us where the real crime scene is, then?
Lance set me up to look like Mr. Deacon back at the hideout. If that's the case, then the murder must have happened prior to that. The location where Lance and the victim were at just before I was imprisoned was... I've got it. I know the real scene of the murder. The real location in which Mr. Deacon was killed is here. Okay. I guess, yeah, the haunted house, that's where they were. And that's where all the broken mirrors are, so...
Take that!
Makes sense. I think it's not unreasonable to assume the murder took place in the haunted house.
Haunted house?
Yes, and I have proved that it is highly likely that the victim was killed there. What proves that the real scene of the crime was the haunted house? There we go. Now we can use the glass.
Take that!
Alright. These were inside the costume the victim was wearing. They're fragments of a mirror.
Mirror? What does that have to do with anything?
Indeed, you don't exactly expect to find pieces of a mirror inside a costume.
Yeah, that's actually pretty dangerous.
However, there's one place I can think of where there is a plethora of mirror fragments. And that is the haunted house. Lance Amano, I propose that you kill Mr. Deacon with the revolver in the haunted house. After that, you sold the Blue Badger Mobile to move his body to the Wild Wild West area. The timing of when the Blue Badger Mobile was stolen confirms this as fact. Miles, my boy, say no more! I'm sorry, Mr. Amano, but I cannot do that.
Be quiet!
Yes, please, do something! Stop that boy from speaking any more nonsense!
Ernest Amana, correct? I meant you! Now be quiet, Gramps!
How dare you!
I don't need words. The only thing I require is evidence. Decisive evidence. To call these mirror bits decisive is a bit too presumptuous, Mr. Prosecutor.
What?
Sheena, wasn't there a mirror in the kidnapper's hideout?
Yes, there was a mirror there. A mirror that's for the haunted house.
See? Isn't it possible the fragments got into the costume there?
But, Agent Lang, there were no fragments on the floor, so the probability is very low.
Probability? Lang Z says on Truth's Past the word probability does not exist. The only thing that does is definitive proof. The question, Mr. Prosecutor, is, do you have the definitive proof you need?
Well, Miss Edgeworth,
Do you?
do I have solid evidence that proves the murder took place at the haunted house? The answer is... no.
See? So since you don't have any, shut up!
I don't have the evidence yet, but... I'm certain the murder occurred around the time I turned the ransom over. At that time, the only people at that haunted house, besides myself, were Lance and Mr. Deacon. If I can prove that murder took place at the haunted house, then I can prove Lance's guilt in connection to the murder.
What now, Mr. Edgeworth?
Agent Lang, I have a special request.
Yeah?
I'd like to prove to you that the scene of the crime was indeed the haunted house.
Why the world are you asking the werewolf for permission?
Because I don't really have a choice. I want to find the truth.
Alright, permission granted. But you're not to touch a single thing, got it?
That won't be a problem. All that's important to me is that the truth be brought to light. It doesn't matter by who or how it's done, as long as it is.
Sure. Sheena,
I'm here.
put in the paperwork for the authorization immediately.
Understood. I'll go get the Katwata group's approval.
Who was that?
No, there. What? No. So hold on for a second. There's no need to obtain approval. Mr. Amano? Agent Lang, if you please take a look at this.
What is this? Sheena!
It's the deed to the haunted house.
The deed! Read it out loud!
Gatwater Land Inc. hereby bequeaths the property known as the haunted house to Mr. Amano for the lump sum of $1 million paid in full in cash.
What? Ho! As you can see, I am now the legal owner of the haunted house.
You kidding? What did you?
I ran into the owner of the park earlier, and we made the deal almost immediately. How quickly things move when you can prepare $1 million in the blink of an eye. That $1 million you paid? Don't tell me it was... Oh, that's right. This disgusting suitcase belongs to you, doesn't it? I don't have any more use for it, so you may have it back now. You used the ransom money? My Lance is a good boy. He even apologized for the kidnapping a bit earlier. So I do believe that I will forgive him. After all, he did return the ransom money. That's the way things are, so if you would please discuss things with me from now on.
Discuss? What is there to discuss?
Why, permission to enter the haunted house, of course. While we were busy listening to Lance's story, Mr. Amano was out there preempting us. Permission to search the haunted house is denied. End the discussion. Agent Lang, I want you to arrest that girl. And Miles, you should hurry on home, man. You should hurry on home now, my boy, before I really lose my temper. Mr. Amano definitely has the deck stacked in his favor, yeah? What should I do? If I leave it like this, the truth will be lost forever. Do I have a choice? Oh, to be continued. Interesting. So now this got me thinking that Ernest Amano is actually behind all this. And interesting. Could Ernest be the one that killed? We know that they have, like, there's bad blood between Ernest and Colin. So, could be possible that either Ernest planned all this, or Ernest found out about their plot before all of this and killed Colin? I don't know. Interesting. Okay, well, damn. Okay, that took a long time. I don't know if the next part is gonna take as long. I don't really have much time right now. Let me see. Usually, when you use the guide, you can tell how long the part's gonna take. So, there's only a couple of things to do. Okay, I don't wanna get any spoilers. I just wanna. Okay, I don't. Okay. If it's like more than 30 minutes, then yeah. I don't know. Okay, well, I'm sorry. I thought I could finish this case today, but I don't think there's enough time. So, damn, that sucks. That sucks. You know what? Fuck it. No, we're finishing this today. All right. Just let me take a quick break, and then we'll discover the truth once and for all. Alright. Here we are. Welcome back. It's time to finish this. Just make sure that, how does it look on the camera? Okay, we're a bit tilted, maybe. Should we do it like that? Okay, and then maybe like that. That fix it? No, okay, the other way around. So like that. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. Good enough. Here we go. Let's continue. March 13th, 4:27 p.m. Gatewater Land Main Gate. If I can get permission to investigate the crime scene, then the truth will be lost. Hold it! Hold it! Hold it! Okay. Miss Edgeworth, what are you doing spacing out? You've forgotten. There's only one thing you should do at a time like this. And what is that? When the people are in a bind, the hero of justice appears to save the day. Look, you just leave it to me. Prime K. Faraday, the second of the great Yatagarasu. I thought you were a thief, not a hero. Yatagarasu is a noble, and is always a thief of justice. That's... of course. If we have enough information, I can recreate the inside of the haunted house with this. Plus, if we then factor in everyone's testimony, you can recreate exactly what happened when I dropped off the ransom money. You may be able to figure out some new information through this. Worth a try. Oh. Agent Lang? Nah, so you want to use a little toy? Be my guest. Okay, hang on. You're all about to witness the true power of a real modern-day Robin Hood. That to come true? Is there a copy of the Haunted House's blueprint among the police's reference documents? Yes, sir. We got it just in case we needed it for the kidnapping case. Oh, right. I'll input the Haunted House data, then. Hey, what is this? Where are we? Where are we? It's like we're inside a haunted house. Even if we can't expect the real location itself, path to the truth slumbers here. If I can successfully navigate my way using logic, I'll ultimately arrive at the truth. Now then, I believe I'm ready to investigate the crime scene. Okay, what should I recreate first? You haven't figured it out yet. Maybe I haven't, maybe I haven't. But I'm going to make you do all the hard work. Very well, I'd like to inspect the moment in which I was ambushed by my abductor. Two of them were definitely in this place at that time. If I can verify that, it may provide me with a new lead. I'd just come out into the hallway after leaving the money inside the dining room. At that time, I saw Badger slumped over on the floor at the end of the hall. Hey? What was a Badger doing all the way down there? I also thought it strange. However, I thought that maybe it was simply a mannequin that was set there for atmosphere. Do you know which Badger it was? No, it was too dark to tell. All I saw was its silhouette. In that case, I guess I'll just program a Badger silhouette in for now. Okay, programming complete. Then I started walking towards the exit. And that's when you were struck from behind, right? Yes. But that's odd. What is a dead end? Where did your ascent come from? There's only one location I can think of. I believe my son was lying in wait here.
Take that!
That doll I saw wasn't really a doll. He was in fact a costume kidnapper. Oh, so he used the costume as a perfect camouflage to blend in with the rest of the house. Precisely. He waited until I had made the drop-off and was about to leave. Then, just as he saw me take a step towards the exit, he stood and launched his attack. I can think of no better hiding place than this.
Hey, not bad. I'm beginning to think I should seal this tactic for myself.
Just don't use it to do anything criminal, okay? Well, Lance?
What are you asking me for?
As one of the kidnappers, I figured I should give you the chance to confess first.
I was one of the kidnappers, but I don't know anything. I did come up to the haunted house, but I never set foot inside. I left Oliver in charge of picking up the ransom money.
Didn't set foot inside. Is he telling the truth or is this another lie? Alright, then you're claiming that it was Mr. Deacon who assaulted me?
Yeah, I'm sure it was him. Okay, inputting the new info now. Mr. Deacon was a bad badger, right? Since the bad badger has a gun attached to its right hand, I'll have to change it so the weapon is in its left hand.
Now to verify the facts of this recreation. Here we go. Didn't recreate the weapon.
Well, I can't exactly recreate something I know nothing about. So tell me, what were you hit with?
The attack came from behind, so I have no idea. But I doubt it was someone's bare hands.
Okay, then where were you hit?
I was hit on the right side of my head, just above my temple. There was a bit of blood, but it wasn't anything serious.
Ouch, sounds painful.
Why are you smirking like that when you say it?
Just your imagination. Now, let's see. Wonder if there's anything in the hallway that could have been used as a weapon. Looking for something the culprit could have used to hit you with.
Take that!
I have it. There was indeed one such object lying here in this hallway. A prop sword.
Are you talking about this thing here?
Yes, although we did find it at the kidnapper's hideout. Wait,
Yes.
it's possible that the culprit took it with him after using it on me.
To leave no evidence behind, right?
Correct. Maybe worth a more thorough examination yet.
Okay, so what test do you want to run on the sword?
The culprit was wearing a costume at the time, so a fingerprint analysis is useless. Let's run an Illuminor test. It's possible that some of my blood found its way onto this. Agent Lang, may I ask for your cooperation in this matter?
Like I have a choice. Sheena, call the lab boys. Understood.
Except for a dab on the left side, it would appear that the blade is spotless.
So it must have been the left side of the prop sword that hit you then, right? Okay, I'll update the recreation with this new piece of info.
All resident have inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. Left side of the prop.
And the next instant, this badger will swing his left arm complete with weapon in hand.
Yeah, so club me with the left side of the prop sword.
Shall I recreate the moment of impact? I want to see the pain expression on your face.
It's just fine the way it is. Wait, maybe not. It's just my imagination or something not quite right.
You know, the Bad Badger is pretty bad looking when you see him up close.
Well, what'd you expect from a character named the Bad Badger?
The sunglasses, wearing them in the dark makes him seem extra bad.
Now I'm lost. Which meaning of bad does she really mean? It's me. I have to say, it's rather embarrassing to see myself like this.
Oh, so what were you thinking about at the time?
I don't recall, but I would guess that I was thinking about the kidnapping.
Really? Because I don't think so at all. Your face practically screams, I'm about to be conked over the head. Hehe.
But no man at the time, do you think I would have let myself be hit? Okay. So... the spot somewhat connected to any of the evidence I hold. Right temple area. The right temple. So
Yeah. If he's using his right hand... Yeah. If he was using his right hand, then the left side would be the attacking side. But if he was using his left hand, then the right side would be the side with the blood on it. Right? So... do we present this?
Finally, I found a clear contradiction of facts about the sword. Except for a bit on the left side, this prop sword is absolutely spotless. However, if the culprit had used his left hand, the blood would be on the opposite side.
The opposite side? Huh?
The culprit held the sword in his left hand, and the sword's right side would hit.
I see, but the blood was on the left side of the sword, right? Which means that he used his right hand to hit you.
Exactly. This prop sword has a large hand guard attached to the hilt. It would be impossible to hold it with two hands while wearing a costume with such big hands. Therefore, if it couldn't be the left hand or both hands, it must have been the right.
I'll change the diet head to reflect a right-handed swing.
Not yet, Kay. There is no sense in changing anything yet. If you change the parameters to the right hand, it would only create a new contradiction. Changing the prop sword to be in the culprit's right hand would conflict with what?
Take that!
The bad badger already holds a gun in his right hand, so he can't hold a sword in addition.
Yeah, that's right. Then what now? If it wasn't in his left or right hand,
It means that the one who struck me could not have been the bad badger. Are you paying attention, Lance? Mr. Deacon could not have been the one who struck me, which leaves only you as our primary suspect.
fine, it was me. I hit you.
It appears that you lied to me yet again. Let's see how quickly they catch up to you, Lance.
Wait, isn't Lance left-handed?
Ah, yes, but that's what makes this deception all the more interesting. He used his right hand to make it look like Mr. Deacon had been the one to strike me. For you see, firing a gun with one's non-dominant hand is difficult, but that level of dexterity isn't required to swing a prop sword. Okay, please input this new data. The one who hit me from behind was Lance. Or should I say, the proto-badger.
You got it. Here I go.
Alright. Now we have a faithful recreation of the situation around the attack on me.
Alright, all we have to do is examine this new recreation and...
What exactly is so funny, Agent Lang?
that amusing little gadget, it sure packs a punch, right, Sheena? Yes, it was all I could do to hold my laughter in.
Hey, don't make fun of little thief, you mean old werewolf. He and Mr. Edgeworth bring out the best in each other.
You've had your little fun, but now it's my turn. I've sat quietly by, listening. But the crude conclusions you two keep spewing don't whet this wolf's appetite. There's no guarantee that your toy will always show the real situation at any given time. All it displays is whatever information you put in there, right? Well, when you put it that way, your suppositions are wrong. It's not your fault, so I'm gonna let you in on this. There is a trick to this haunted house.
What might that be exactly?
A trick beyond what your tiny imaginations can produce. Sheena? Here you are. Now then, what you miss, girlie, is written right here in this pamphlet.
The 7 Wonders of the Haunted House, the Disappearing Badger.
What is this? I'd say that someone around here is fond of theatrics. As you can see, they set a doll down at the end of this hallway for that purpose. Basically, the blue badger you saw was just a stupid doll.
No, I know what I saw.
How can this be? Guess that throws your whole theory about it being your attacker right out the window.
But that can't be right. Maybe the culprit hit the doll somewhere. And then he laid down and pretended to be it instead.
The criminal couldn't even hide himself in the hallway. How could he hide a giant doll? You get it now? Thanks to your presumptions. Your logic started off weak and led you to the completely wrong conclusion. Now, get off your high horse.
Sedgworth. Okay, I wonder if you could please input the new information for me.
You don't know when to quit, do you?
I can't quit, not until I can declare that I've found the truth. Agent Lang, for the additional information, you have my thanks.
There you go again. I'll see if I care.
Okay, I'm updating the recreation now. Oh. Alright. That's my cue. Sorry, I'll be right back. Alright, welcome back. So, yeah. Got like 20 more minutes in me, so if we can't wrap this up by then, sorry, we're just gonna have to stop. Okay, here we go. That looks really weird. But how it changes from the blue badger into the proto badger all of a sudden. The slumped over badger was just a doll. Where was my attacker hiding? That's what we're going to find out, right? Come on, Miss Edgeworth, let's go. Yes, let's. This recreation can't be right, which means there must be a contradiction somewhere. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. This blue badger is just a doll for use in this haunted house. I bet the one who killed this blue badger was the bad badger, right? According to the Blue Badger Bible, it says that they are each other's worst enemy. Well, because one's an ally of justice and the other's a vile criminal with a gun. Perhaps they were just destined to battle each other. Much like the Steel Samurai and the evil magistrate. Okay, so it's a blue badger, and then proto badger. Yeah, and then proto badger. This is where the proto badger shows up in our recreation. Yes. Now the question is, where did he come from? Yeah, but there's no place to hide in our current model. Must be an inconsistency somewhere. Pieces of a set of armor are in pile here. Why do you think they almost always have sets of armor inside haunted houses? I suppose this sort of interior design is meant to bring out a sense of the abnormality. Why do all your explanations have to be so hard to understand, Miss Edgeworth? I'll try explaining it again, but this time so that even a thief like me can get it. That may prove to be a most difficult task. Let me take a look around. It almost feels more like a house of mirrors. Indeed. Who has ever heard of this many mirrors inside of a haunted house before? Well, at least we know this is the real crime scene, thanks to these mirror shards. Hey, wait, these shards. Something different about them. Oh, as we found earlier, are thicker than the shards from these mirrors on this wall. And look, there's some sort of design on the back too. The pieces from that costume are certainly different from the other mirrors. What does this mean? Could it be that our pieces are not pieces of these mirrors? Ah. Okay. Can we examine them further? No? It's a replica of myself. You were totally oblivious to what was behind you, huh? Yeah, I suppose I am also to blame for what happened to me. It was incredibly dark, which was all the more reason I should have been more alert. I vowed to never be caught by surprise again. It's the proto-badger who struck me. I suppose I should really say that it is Lance. Ooh, are you going to get him back? I did not resort to violence when the lawsuit I plan to bring to court will suffice. Really? Because I would totally have decked him right back. If someone steals from me, I steal something from them. If I get hit, I hit the back. If I get paid, I return the money. That's the secret to how a great thief works. The third statement doesn't seem to be of much benefit to our survival. Okay. We got something, okay. Mirror shards. Okay.
I can't believe what I'm seeing, sir. This space that I'm standing in, it's like out of some crazy dream.
Except that this isn't a dream. This is something Kay's gadget.
No, wait, this is exactly like a dream, sir. I've never been so impressed. It's a miracle.
Someone sure is easily impressed.
Hee, I'm so glad you like it. Oh, so this is a part of your gadget? Now I wish I had one too.
And once this is over, I'll let you play with it for a bit if you want.
You do that for me, pal? Thanks. Alright, let's wrap this case up already.
Some ideas that I wonder if they understand the seriousness of the situation. Thanks for letting us use, Little Thief.
Wang Zi says reject not those who seek the truth. So keep in mind that I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing this for the truth.
Don't worry, I understand. We may have different methods, but our wish is the same. So, have you noticed anything worthwhile?
I have no obligation to talk to you.
Well, I'm fine with just Little Thief in solving this case.
That toy, it's very well made.
Haha, that's because it's the heart of the noble thief Yatagarasu. Okay, that might not be something you want to advertise to everyone.
So, Sheena, what exactly is the source of this extra-dimensional like space? I believe this is nothing more than a projection from that girl's toy.
So it's all an illusion, right?
Yes. Hey, don't treat this like some sort of silly light show.
You can lie all you want, but it will all be for naught, Lance. As soon as I expose the truth, you will be placed under arrest.
How can you do this? After all that my dad has done for you?
What your father has done for me is unrelated to the charges you face now.
Unbelievable.
You know, you sound kind of like a bully right now, Miss Edgeworth. I'm not serious about this. He will never understand the true gravity of his crimes. I will not allow him to remain a child forever.
Now you sound like a dad.
Okay, wasting time here. Let's see. This is in complete contradiction to this piece of evidence. Well, maybe it's not in complete contradiction. Definitely missing something here. I don't know if I need to gather more clues or... yeah, I'm not sure. So only have this, mirror shards, but nothing else. Alright. Just keep trying. Just use all the evidence we got until we get something out of it. Or I guess I can just look it up. Let's go back to the guide again and see what we're missing here. Okay, test with luminol. Okay. Examine, okay, just the belt. Then belt seems to be... Ah, what? What? Who's gonna notice that? Suppose somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? Come on. Wow. I can't believe it. Hold on a second here. There's something wrong with this blue badger.
Huh? Like what?
The way the belt is on him is opposite of how it should be. Did you make a mistake?
That can't be. I inputted the image data exactly as it is in the pamphlet.
So then, why is the blue badger dressed up in reverse? Blue badger in the pamphlet photo is in reverse to the regular blue badger. Why? There must be some sort of explanation. Now we do this. Okay, do you remember what you said earlier?
What I said earlier about what?
About how this building might as well have been a house of mirrors.
House of Mirrors. Oh, that would explain the reversed or mirror image.
Yes, this blue badger might be nothing more than the reflected image of a real one.
And was the blue badger you saw was just a reflection? Was the blue badger you saw just a reflection?
When I looked down this hole, I thought it was perfectly straight. However, if there was a mirror...
Oh, then it would actually be... Then it would actually form an L shape, right?
Precisely. I was deceived. The hallway was almost pitch black, and there was a beam in the way that obstructed my view of the other hallway.
Wait, but why build this place like that? That's pretty pointless to me.
Okay, this house is just another attraction at an amusement park. They created a mirror wall for a very specific purpose, one I can point out to you. This was the reason they built a mirror wall. Because it's spooky. Because it can disappear.
Take that!
As it is written in the pamphlet, the main draw of this attraction is the mystery of the disappearing badger.
You mean they built the mirror for that trick alone? You say you saw the badger, so it was definitely still there.
That was true at the time, however. Doing this allows someone to make the blue badger disappear in a flash. To remove a reflected image, simply move the mirror. First, the mirror was constructed so that it could be moved. Then, beyond where the mirror was, an empty hallway had to be created.
Oh, so when they wanted people to see the blue badger, they would open the mirror?
And when they wanted to hide it, they simply had to close it again. This explains why the other side of these fragments have a design on them.
Ah, and if the pattern is the same as the other walls in this hallway,
then, when the mirror is closed, it would blend in with the rest of the walls. This is the mirror trick that this haunted house employs. And this also proves the existence of a hiding place for the culprit.
Huh? How so?
Think about it, Kay. There was a place that was outside my field of vision. The culprit kept out of sight by hiding... here.
Take that!
There was a very large blind spot, one I could not see beyond, and it was here. If my son hid on the other side of the movable mirror...
then you wouldn't be able to see him. He didn't even need to do anything to get the... He didn't even need to do anything to the blue badger doll.
Exactly. All I had to do was wait for me on the other side of the mirror.
Wait, hold on. I just thought of something.
Yes?
Well, shouldn't the mirror wall be broken right now, in reality?
Since we have a few shards of it, we can probably assume it is. Yes, it most definitely is broken. The question is, when was it broken? Since we found these inside the victim's costume, that would mean that the victim was there when the mirror was broken. Wait, that sound.
Clear the money and go now.
That sound I heard was most definitely the sound of a mirror breaking. Okay, I'd like you to input some new information.
Ah, don't scare me like that.
Sorry, but I need you to recreate something for me.
Sure, whatever you need. So what do you need anyway?
If you could first recreate this hallway just before I entered the dining room.
You got it.
Now this, I believe this is how it was right before I entered the dining room. Although, at the time, I thought it was but a single straight hallway. And then I went inside. It was around then that I heard the sound of a mirror shattering.
You heard what? Then...
Yes, I believe it was then that the mirror was broken.
Okay, so then when you stepped outside into the hallway again...
the mirror wall should no longer exist. Okay, please recreate that.
Got it. Wait, but with the mirror gone, the culprit lost his hiding spot. So where did he go in his proto-badger suit, Mr. Edgeworth?
Huh, that's easy enough. With the mirror gone, he simply hid himself in the branch hallway.
I think this about wraps it up. Looks like we finally solved everything.
No, not yet. An even larger contradiction has now reared its head.
Huh?
Perhaps you did not notice, but this recreation contains a very troubling inconsistency. The inconsistency between what I saw and the recreation lies...
Consistency between what I saw and the recreation. You didn't see the broken mirror?
Take that!
Okay, take a good look at the end of the hole.
Oh, there's no blue badger there.
Exactly, the blue badger that I saw in reality is not here.
Yeah.
This is the final point on this long chain of logic. The last remaining contradiction.
Right. Because when I walked out, there was still a blue badger lying on the ground. But it wasn't the same one. So let me get this straight. When you came out of the dining room, you saw a badger, right?
That is precisely where the final contradiction lies. Something that shouldn't exist was there before me. Who or what do you suppose it was? I believe this is the real identity of our mystery badger.
Take that!
This is what I really saw at the scene of the crime.
You mistook that for a badger? You disappoint me. We've worked so hard to get here. Don't get all weird on me now. I don't understand the question. I can't present profiles, so how am I supposed to? Okay. Oh, oops. Did I? Okay.
Take that!
Doesn't matter. I didn't go that far. Isn't there something they can let you skip a lot quicker? There we go. Thanks, skip on. Something that shouldn't exist was there before me. Who or what do you think this was? The victim dead?
Take that!
I don't... What? That I saw was in actuality the dead victim's body. But then it got up.
What?
Agent Lang, the entirety of my complete logic is my final decisive piece of evidence. The murder happened in the hallway of the haunted house at the time of the drop-off. And you can consider the moment I heard the mirror breaking to be the real time of death for Mr. Deacon.
No!
Maybe it was due to their fighting, or perhaps it was the life-shattering bullet. But no matter what the cause was, the hallway mirror wall was broken.
Ha! You were in the house at the time, right? Are you telling me that you missed the sound of a gunshot?
There were a variety of sound effects playing at the time, all for theatrics, I assume. The gunshot must have blended right in. Now then, I'd like you to recall something for me. Who was it that was with the victim at the haunted house? Who was the one who had the opportunity to rob the victim of his gun and use it on him? It was you, Lansamano!
I'm sorry! It's not like I had a choice. Oliver turned on me all of a sudden. He snapped to turn it on and right after I hung up with you. He shoved me to the ground and straddled me. I fought back as hard as I could, grabbed his gun and I shot him. Bullet must have went through his body and shattered the mirror. If I hadn't taken his gun and shot him first, I would have been the one you found. He's a hardened criminal. He escaped from jail. See? That's justified self-defense. My boy was only trying to protect himself.
That remains to be seen and will have to be resolved in court. Agent Lang, I leave the rest to you.
It's if you are the one in charge around here. Guys, arrest these two and get them out of my sight.
Wait, I had nothing to do with the murder. The only person you should be arresting is Lance. Dad?
Sorry, but you're not slipping away that easily, Mr. Ernest Amano. You tampered with the evidence so you could cover for your son. What a great dad you are, willing to risk it all. Truly touching. By the way,
You know why I'm really here? And how could I possibly know the answer to such an asinine question?
you wound me. I came all this way from across the sea just to see you, you know.
You came here to see me?
What's that supposed to mean?
I have a few things to ask you, Mr. Amano, about a case from 10 years ago.
A case from 10 years ago.
Oh, what's the name that you use here for that case? Sheena?
It's known as the KG-8 incident.
The KG-8 incident?
Oh, so you remember it. Good. Then you recall that the trigger in that case was the Amano Group scandal. Specifically, a charge of an internal smuggling ring.
Smuggling. There's that word again.
At the time, the person that was arrested as the ringleader was Mr. Amano's very own secretary, Mr. Colin Deveray.
Father.
Even though you pushed the crime onto your then secretary, Mr. Deveray, I always suspected you were involved with the smuggling ring, Mr. Amano. Mr. Deveray was arrested in place of you, which is why when he broke out, you hid him from the police, right? You hid him in exchange for his silence on your little dirty secret.
No. Please calm down. Honestly, I have no idea what you're talking about.
To be ignorant all you want. We're taking you down to the precinct anyway for a nice long chat.
Oh. What?
What the heck was that?
Okay. What was his voice again?
I'll take him down to the precinct if you don't mind. Who the heck are you? I'm Jock Postman, and I'm the prosecutor in charge of this case.
Oh, Jock, thank goodness you're here.
Don't jerk me around. This is an Interpol case, so keep your paws off my suspect.
Sorry, but I can't comply. I've got the backing of the prosecutor's office. See, in this country, we prosecutors work with the police to bring cases to court. So if you could please cooperate with me here, that'd be great. Now, how about a handshake to seal the deal?
Sorry, but I ain't prosecutors, the whole lot of ya. Guys, arrest the two suspects.
Sir.
Oh, I almost forgot. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, is it? I'd like to thank you.
Thank me.
Yeah, for working so hard to fulfill my goal.
Hey, is that any way to thank someone? What the heck is that supposed to mean?
You were so relentless with Lance that you forced Ernest to tamper with the evidence. Thanks to that, I finally had a legitimate reason to arrest him. So how does it feel to bite the hand that feeds you?
A hand that feeds me. I'm not sure I follow.
It's no use pretending with me. You are the one, right? You're the corrupt prosecutor that's working for Mr. Amano and the smuggling ring, right?
No, I would never do such a thing.
Shit! The heck? Our intel's never wrong. In your prosecutor's office, there's definitely someone working with the ring.
So Agent Lang suspected my relation to Mr. Amano. That must be the real reason behind his antagonistic attitude.
Top of that, your mentor was Manfred von Kammer, right? There were non-stop rumors flying around about forged evidence with that guy. You're not twisting the truth behind those closed courtroom doors too, are you?
The courtroom is a place where the truth is revealed.
Well, don't worry. It's not only you. A whole lot of you can't be trusted. Prosecutor who never lost in 40 years. Every defendant must be found guilty. fueled by that kind of thinking. Is it any wonder that courts produce nothing but falsities and lies?
It would seem that his disdain extends beyond just me. Prosecutors, the courts. Why is this man so angry with us all?
Rest assured, the next time we meet, I won't be so forgiving. So don't you forget it.
Please wait. Agent Chino. Why does Agent Lang hate all prosecutors so?
Lang is the head of the long-honored House of Lang in Zagfa. The heads of all police-related divisions in that country were of Lang blood.
Were? What do you mean by that? Aren't they still?
They were revered, but that was long ago. They don't hold that sort of sway anymore. And it was all because of the court.
How can that be?
Prosecutor once withheld and tampered with the evidence of the Lang detectives found. With the evidence one of the Lang detectives found. That evidence's purity was tarnished and cost the Lang family its honor and trust.
But not all prosecutors are like that.
Even so, Lang would never respect the court again, or any prosecutor.
So Agent Lang is a man who hates all courts and is unwilling to forgive prosecutors. And what a piece of work that guy is. Come on, Jim, we better catch up. Yeah. We still gotta deliver that thing to the old man, after all. Detective Gumshoe, I believe it's time we wrapped up and headed out ourselves.
Yeah, are you going home, Mr. Edgeworth?
No, I've done nothing but be entangled in one mess after another since my return. If it's alright with you, can you drop me off at my office?
No problem, sir.
Excuse me.
Yes, what is it?
Thank you very much.
Oh, it's okay. No need to thank me, pal. Just doing my job as detective.
I guess I was fooled pretty badly by Lance. Oh, cruel fate. What's a woman to do when she's been erred by the one she loves? I think I never realized my father was right there. Never said anything to him. I knew it. I'm a failure.
Ah, there she goes again, talking to herself. Miss Forbes, I wonder if you know why your father participated in the kidnapping.
Oh, I have no idea.
Your father died while he was trying to stop Lance, which means that from the beginning, he had no interest in the staged self-abduction. Wait, then
Why did he...
I believe it was because of your presence, Miss Pops.
Eh?
Lance realized that the two of you were related, which is why he used you as a hostage to coerce Mr. Deveray into cooperating.
Father...
As a felon, he could not tell you of his real relation to you. However, as the Amano family butler, at the very least, he was able to watch over you. It was all he could do, but that was the shape of his overflowing love for you. Go on, speak your mind.
that is... thank you very much.
You're welcome. Although, there is no need to thank me.
No, Lauren, stop. I mean, this man's so much older than you.
Hey, looks like you've gotten completely thrown away, Mr. Ashworth.
Way to go, sir.
Your technique is way beyond the level of a great thief. What are you going on about now? Wow, your deducing skills may be sound, but you have no street smarts.
That's Mr. Edgeworth for you.
Yeah, I mean, he still hasn't figured out who I am at all. If you haven't remembered in all this time, I guess I'm just going to have to say it. This isn't the first time we've met, you know.
What do you mean, pal? Mr. Edgeworth? How do you know this girl?
Looks like you totally forgot me, too, Gummy.
Gummy?
Who's what? Here, maybe this will jog your memories. I promise I'll return this to you one day, remember? That single piece of cloth took me back, far into my past. To that fateful day 7 years ago, when I first met the then-child Kay and Detective Gumshoe. The end. There we go, and completed. Alright. Not a moment too soon. Alright, well, it's time to wrap this up. Thank you all for watching, and till the next time.